That live button on.
Oh, okay.
We get back in the skills if I burn up this shit. Then it be
all right. So what you gotta do is mute your computer, and if you going in the other room with your phone, you gotta use that audio.
All right, I got you.
So mute your computer and go in on your phone so you can. You feel me?
All right, there you go. All right. Bang, 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 bang. I see him over here cooking. Bang.
Did you mute the computer?
Yeah, it's muted.
All right, yeah,
you can hear me, right?
Yeah, you sound good now. Yeah.
Yeah, let the people pile up in here, yeah, while we do some home, nigga, we talking about some home cooked chicken strips, yo. When you take the good, chicken breasts and you slice them, yo, no processing. You know what I'm saying? We want to eat healthy around here. Mm-hmm. That's how you like to cook, though. You be in there cooking the steaks. I've been seeing you. Huh? Yeah. Mm-hmm. See you. You don't play. All they eating out for the birds. I see how you do it.
Yeah, that shit. And I like cooking, actually.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Is your family like when you cook, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Women around the house like when you cook.
You feel me?
Everybody like when you cook. Shit. Trying to teach my daughters them how to cook. Taught everybody how to cook. That's my aunts did for me. Yeah.
That's what they supposed to do.
Yeah. And no women hold me hostage, nigga.
That's the thing. If you look, the thing, there is a stigma that women cook, right? But if you look at all of the world-class chefs, they all men, yo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's real. Yeah. I think the women might do a lot of...
take nothing away from women. You know what I mean? But men, the best chefs in the world, you know what I mean, is men.
That's the good one. That's probably a good argument. So the best cook?
Now I envision it this way, right? And this is all anecdotal, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But I feel as though men have a better style of cooking, but we allow women to cook because, I guess for back in the day, we was out working and shit all the time. So we left, when you come home after, look, if I kill it, you cook it. I guess that was the, you know what I mean? I shouldn't have to do it, you know what I mean? I shouldn't have to do it all. If I kill it, you at least gotta cook it. I think that's where women started to take over as far as the cooking. I guess men felt as though, I didn't chase this motherfucker down for 6 miles, wrestled this motherfucker down, killed it, motherfucking bled the motherfucker out, skinned it, cut all of the good. You at least can motherfucking put the motherfucker in the pan. Like
you mean chase it for weeks, yo? It take weeks for hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be weeks for hunting at times. Yeah, you take weeks for hunting. Yeah, I didn't caught it. You go skin it and cook it, goddammit.
Yeah, but I did all that. You can cook that motherfucker.
Yeah,
I'm tired, motherfucker. I'm tired.
All right, so Tommy then got killed. The least you can do is cooking.
The least you can do is cooking. You feel me? The fuck? I done lost my brother trying to get him
in. The mastodon turned on us. We thought he was gonna run off the cliff. He didn't. He got tired of that shit and turned on us immediately.
I lost my brother trying to feed your dumb ass. You
come home, the women had it. They used to have the motherfucking the fruits and the vegetables and the nuts and shit.
Yeah, look, they were just out picking berries and shit.
Picking the berries and shit. We I damn near lost my brother. Yo, that's funny, yo. Y'all gotta stop that, yo. I'm gonna stop hanging around you, Chef. You're gonna get us all in trouble, yo.
It's the truth. That's the way I see it. But like I said, it's anecdotal. You know what I mean?
Hey, Corey, he gonna get us all in trouble. You know what I'm saying? You ain't hear that? You ain't hear that? Corey, you ain't hear him.
What? Say what?
You ain't hear what Chef say.
No, I just came in.
We came up with a remedy. What we said was that men are actually the best cooks, right? The best chefs in the world are men, right? And what actually happened was we out that motherfucker hunting on the great savannah, hunting mastodons and all kind of shit. We saying we didn't chase this motherfucker for a goddamn week. Billy done got killed on the hunt. You can at least cook it.
Right?
That's how women became cooks. You know what I'm saying? Shit. But man, we come home, they got the berries and the corn, they got all that shit you can walk around and pick and don't bite back. You know what I'm saying? Boy, that's funny, yo. Y'all crazy, yo. I'm gonna get away from y'all dudes, man.
That's real. That's real right there, goddamn.
Oh man, y'all past real.
Oh,
what up? Peace to everybody in the chat. Yo, y'all get up. I know we ain't went live in a week or something. We've been real busy, you know what I mean? But what's up, CK? CK, where's you at? CK started a whole bunch of shit.
Whole bunch of shit.
Juju, what's up? Kofi, what did you do? Hey, Kofi, that was a good ass topic y'all had today. About Charleston White. I roll with Charleston. You feel me? But yeah, that was a good ass topic. Smash, what up? And shout out to Kofi, your new book coming out. You know what I mean, Mandingo Theory. You definitely should come on here and tell us about it. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
I remember he did a show on that topic. That was a very interesting topic when he did that show. It was some months back. He did a show, and that was kind of like the title of the topic, I think it was, or whatever. But yeah, it was. I remember that. That was a pretty fire show.
Hell yeah! Hey, Kofi, I'll send you the link, yo. If you can give us 10 minutes, you can come on and you know what I mean. Tell the motherfuckers over here about your book and what it's hitting on. You feel me?
Yo, if your friends don't throw you off the clan, nigga, you know how they roll, nigga. Don't go over there with them niggas. Don't go over there. They done brought all our books. They done promote all our channels, but we don't fuck with them niggas though. Yeah, I done got in trouble already, Kofi. But that's how it really went though. Yeah. That's crazy. Yep, I'm gonna still tune into all the shows, yo. I might not tell nobody to get that nigga.
Kofi been in communication with me the whole time. He texts me from now and then. I text him from now and then. Stand-up guy. He been a cool guy to me in my eyes the whole time.
Yeah, that's what I call a stand-up guy right there. Yo. And there's a couple of bros, you know what I'm saying, that, stood up. Couple. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's just a conversation. Niggas just don't agree on some shit. And that's all it was. It was not more than that. Right? If you caught pseudo on something, you just caught pseudo on shit.
Facts.
The hell. It all happens to the best of us.
Right. Come out with your hands up. We caught you red-handed, man. Pseudo. Come out with your hands up. The gig is up.
Come on with your hands up. Oh man, yo. Yeah, man. I had to tell them. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I had to tell the bros about that motherfucking train, that bullet scientific train coming down the tracks. And I'm sitting up there parlaying with Wu John and Saw, and I look up, I said, damn, that's a motherfucking scientific train. It's moving kind of fast. And it got a sign on it. We're running you over with Afro Age Ave. I said, oh shit. So I said, yo, let me take a real look at this. And by the time I took a look at it, I'm like, oh shit, I had to dive off the tracks. The train ran over Wu John and Saw, yo. And they supposed to be the best teachers we got. but there's a leg over here, there's an arm over there, there's a neck over here. They all screwed all over the place. You know why? Because the experts was driving that train.
It's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
But they still haven't conceded. And that's what makes you pseudo.
Yeah, that's what makes you pseudo. Not the fact
when you don't concede, in the face of overwhelming evidence, right?
Yes.
When you don't concede, now you can put forth all kind of theories and wherever your investigation go at. But when the experts weigh in with a preponderance of amount of information stating the case, then you gotta be able to get off of that. You gotta be able to get off of that. You know what I mean? The information supposed to correct you.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think you pseudo at that point.
Yeah, if you would have got off at that point, then y'all would have been good. Y'all wouldn't have been.
No, that's a spectacular point, yo. And because I used to argue for him, and my main point was African agency, right? Or African American agency. And so that's always in the cards, right? But at the end of the day, I got pushed, and I was like, yo, the train is coming, yo. And it's not just about African American agency or the Black person did it or African agency. It's actually about said experts. Okay, so of course you need to have experts that your continental Africans weighed in on the situation. Of course you would need African American.
The hell happened?
You came in and kicked Dunk out, man.
Out of there. What y'all talking about right now?
I don't know. We're warming up. We just warming up.
Okay. Damn, Lamar and them took another L. They got me hot, man. What is going on?
Man, don't even talk about it.
Okay,
Well, my phone cut off at though. I was talking about the African agency experts, right?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I just was saying that it's not just about African agency or African American agency. That's where we all got it twisted. It's about those people being experts, like the sister that helped design the Moderna. She was not only African, she was an expert. And that's what's important. Just being African American, hell, Nation of Islam member can speak out on vaccines or speak out on different things. Man, okay, yeah, you got the right to say that. All human beings, at least in America, have inalienable rights to speak out on any topic they want to and voice their opinion. But when it comes down to where the rubber meets the road, right, we have experts that have spoken on said situations. So then the rest of the world is required to have experts. Your Africanness or your African Americanness does not stop that. Just because you're African don't mean you can speak on a topic and be right, or African American. And that is the misuse of it. And that's exactly what the bros did. They didn't have to do it. This absolutely had nothing to do with no types of friendships and the misuse of African agency. See, y'all don't see it right now. See, y'all thinking, you gotta read a Saw book. All right, watch this.
How did Vance get his avatar to look just like him, though? That's funny. I always wanted to ask that. That is funny.
That nigga just picked the Puerto Rican, yo.
Yeah. He picked the Egyptian nigga.
Y'all crazy. I'm just I'm the prototypical Rodney, huh?
Definitely Rodney.
That's funny as shit, dog.
Forget y'all.
No, my bad. I just had to, me, man. I had him outbursts every now and then.
Let me see. Where the hell Uncle at?
That African agency got him. The African agency.
Get him every time. Get him every fucking time. Let me see.
It's been a lot of shit going on lately, though, man. The topic's been everywhere lately.
Everywhere.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. We need to get our shit together so we can put on some good shows.
You've been rabid lately, man.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. We've been talking about everything from who the hell is the goddamn the host of this right now since he jumped off.
Shit, ain't no telling. Yeah,
all right, Kofi said he gonna jump on after he get finished eating. So we gonna let him rock out for 10 minutes and present his new book. You know, we cross promote over here. Yeah. You know what I mean? Let everybody get the money going. You feel me?
Oh, no, definitely. We all about the marketing, the camaraderie and the business marketing part, right?
That's a fact.
We ain't gonna.
That's a fact. Who just came in?
That's oh, it's only 4 of us. It was Vance came in and out.
Yeah, I had to get my other joint on here.
Yeah, them homemade chicken tenders ain't no joke, yo.
Yeah, to run to the bathroom.
No, I had to run to the. No, I was in the middle of cooking. Y'all supposed to be in there.
I got you.
Yeah, but you jumped off in the middle of a thought, though,
like he smelled that chicken.
And you just jumped off. So and then it just left us. They're like, all right, what the fuck do we say now?
That was a pondering moment, right? Because the undertone is, dudes is clowns and this and that. But the point I want to say is what was done to all of us, right? Your ass would fail. I'm gonna say this again. You would actually fail a high school term paper. What? That's it. You can eat them all. I don't want none. I'm not eating no French fries now. All right, well, that's it. That's all it's at, bro. What you want me to do? Got plenty of them tenders, though. Anyway, you would fail a high school term paper if you turned in a term paper. Listen up, and every source was the same source.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I absolutely knew that he knew that I knew that he knew that I knew that he knew that I knew he was bullshitting. No way you're gonna tell me that people as intelligent as that don't recognize that every source can't be from you. It's no way y'all can convince me. This is nothing to do with the friendship, right? And everything, I told y'all, man, that I do this for the people, not to be hog-tied by my friendships that I have developed over time. I didn't come in here for my friendships. I had friends before I came on here. I came in here so that what happened to me, right? The way my psyche was messed with, the way I was misinformed based off of not having a critical tool, scientific literacy, right? That put me in a cult for 5 years. Now, of course, there's different levels to being in a cult. Stayed on the outskirts of it. But I remember like it was yesterday. I remember having no tools to defend myself against the misinformation. Had no tools. Sounded good. York was a storyteller par excellence, and it was spectacular. And every now and then, if you looked it up, you could find things. Watch this. You could actually find things on the internet that corroborated what he was saying. So I was in trouble at that point. And that's where most of y'all sit at. Y'all sit in trouble because a pseudo will say something and you could find it on the internet. You don't know what a primary source is, a secondary source is, a tertiary source is. Primary, Smash, shout out to Smash Rockwells, man. Y'all like and subscribe, man, to his channel, man, Smash Rockwells, man. He uses primaries. He uses facsimiles. Y'all wouldn't even know you wouldn't know what it was because I didn't know what it was. And I know what it feel like, watch this, to promote Dr. Ben, John Reed Clark, John Jackson, right? And deny evolution. I know what that feel like. And you would ask them how, didn't you read the book? I read it, but maybe I didn't read it good enough. You could read something and not know what the hell you was reading. And I'm telling you this, that's why we do. That's why we hash out. That's why we argue. That's why we debate. That's why it's an open forum for your opinion, right? If you drop a source, then you pseudo killing for real. But it's space for opinions.
Yeah.
I'm right here. You know, my son on my head. Yo, go make some water. Go make some water. You scientific literate. What you want me to? That's yours anyway. I don't know. It's not mine. So, the point I'm making here is there's a situation that we're faced with. How do you know who's telling the truth? We have big opinions about things. How do you determine? And that's what I'm saying. Like, man, so of course, if I was in a situation, no, I would never do it. I realize the gig is up and everybody gonna give people credit for at least fighting the fight, yo. But at the end of the day, they knocked out on their feet. Every time they go live talking that shit about Afro-Asiatic and the black thing and the Kemet and what it is, they knocked out on their feet. Delusional. Right? Because I was listening to a podcast, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he spoke of how he was cracking a joke on how, yeah, y'all the source of that information. When it's just one person being at the source of the information, yo, that's grounds for a red flag. And on that red flag, when you pick it up off the ground, you turn it over and say, pseudo. See, I'm giving y'all small keys. If you run across individuals, right, that are the only ones with that information and they the source, then you know it's pseudo. Why am I saying this? Scientific literacy clearly says that your ideas have to be collaborated. Whether it's academia has to look at it and attempt to tear it apart. That's why we don't call Lectowitz pseudo or Brunel pseudo, because they fought back and forth. Academia had a shot at it. We could see the arguments, we could read the debates, we could see it, the fights, the ups, the downs, the ebbs, the flows, you're right, you're wrong. We could see all that in real time. And you could get sources that actually collaborate the information. But if you're in a situation where there's one or two people from the same camp saying the same thing, they ain't no better than the Hebrew Israelites. And I just gotta say it. I gotta say it. And if this messes up the friendship, then it never was a friendship anyway. Then it means that the friendships we had was actually predicated on me agreeing with you. I don't want a friendship like that. That's a recipe for a cult. Why would I have friends like that? I don't want you to agree with me because we're friends, right? And I don't want you to be mad at me because I don't agree with you because we're friends. That's not with us. That's not what we're here for. We not here for that situation. Okay, Kofi. Oh, that's not why we come here and do this. Okay, we don't come here for that. Hey, Kofi.
What's up?
All right, so listen, out of respect for you and your friends, I'm gonna stop talking about a song Wuja. I'm gonna stop, right? I'm gonna cut it. See, that's a line we drawing, boop, out of respect for you and your business model, what you're doing, right? And I'm gonna let you go ahead and deal with your book. And then when you get off, I'm banging on them again. But go ahead, bro. Because I love them.
Hey, first, man, peace to everybody on the
Peace,
panel.
bro. Peace.
How y'all doing?
We doing good, man. I
up,
see you
bro?
in the lab. Good to have you on, bro.
Peace, bro. What
man.
up, Kofi? What up?
Not much, man. Just cooling, man. Just cooling, man. But I appreciate, man, y'all, letting me promote my book, man. But I'll just be brief, man, because I know you ready to get back into it, man. But for people who may not know, man, I got a new book that just came out. It's called Mandingo Theory, Castrations of Africans in the Sex Craze Conceptualization. In this book, I'm talking about the theory that the Europeans went back and forth with in their minds, and about how they believed that Africans was over sexual. So these theories they came up with was that the African woman wanted to be raped, the African man wanted to be uh, raped as well. So I cover in there how European women raped men for empowerment because they was neglected by their European husbands. But I also talk about the Sahara slave trade in the first chapter because we always give the Arabs a pass. So I talk about the Sahara slave trade and talk about how they utilize castration and sex, as well as the European and Atlantic slave trade use castration and sex as to gain economics. You know what I'm saying, for power, especially power for the women because they was neglected. And how the word Mandingo became a derogative term in America, but the Mandingo means something different over there in Africa. So I just go through and walk you through the psychology of the Arab and why they use castration and they used women as sex slaves. And I walk you through the psychology of the European on why they castrated Africans, because castration became a practice, a horrendous practice within the slave trade that we don't talk about. And I talk about why they castrated these Africans, because they developed a jealousy and a hatred for the Africans, especially Africans who had big phalluses. They believed that Africans with big phalluses was primitive and, had very small brains, space, or wasn't intelligent at all, man. So, that's basically the gist of the book, man. Me just walking through the psychology of both sides and exposing the why they castrated the Africans and exposing the sex within slavery, using sex as a monetary gain, sex to pass amongst their colleagues, utilizing them for sex gain. Africans killing Africans on the plantation because they pitted Africans against each other by turning them against each other and watching their friends forced to have sex with their friends' wives. Yeah, man, and that's basically the gist of the book, man, without me just going, further into it, man. But I think it's a good read. Nobody's really talking about slavery is already a crime, but talking about the crimes with the horrendous crimes within the crime. So I wanted to just talk about the castration part and why they believe that castration Africans was a thing, which they believe the Arab as well as the European believe that castrating African males this would make them more stronger. This would make them more faster, and it would make them work more efficient on the slave trade. So the practice of castration began to be an all-time high within slavery. And like I said, and utilizing them to show their dominance by cutting off their private parts, because they believed in a theory that they had to protect their pure white women. They said their women was pure, and African men wanted to have sex because they was sexual. They wanted to have sex with their wives. So in order to protect their wives, they had to castrate. These Africans so their wives could feel safe around them, but also in the same space that the men, they was in a position as well as with the women, because the women began to rape the African male because the European man, he roamed freely and did what he wanted to do. And he raped African women at an all-time high, which he believed through the Mandingo Theory that they was over-sexual. And this is something that they wanted to happen to them, man. So I wanted to just expose a lot of that stuff, man, that was going on in the slave trade, man. And I try to walk you through the origin of where castration come from. I try to walk you through the origin of the Meninke people and the two different terms, Mandingo and what it means in Africa, and how it became a stereotype and how we use that stereotype as Mandingo over here in America.
Well, that's an interesting book there, bro. Didn't that do the exact opposite though when they got the testicles and stuff cut off? Like your voice wouldn't develop. Didn't a lot of those things happen? I forgot where I read that at.
You talking about what's the name?
Eunuchs?
Yeah, eunuchs from castration. It definitely messes with their the development of the deepness of the voice. What's the name is a prime example of that. If y'all can look up George Washington Carver, right? Bell had recorded some of the first recordings that he made with his recording devices was of George Washington Carver, actually. But a lot of people don't know this. I think Edison also were his recording devices. So a lot of the things like in the 20s, he was recorded. And if you listen to his voice, you'll say, man, he got a weird voice. But a lot of people ain't know that George Washington Carver actually got castrated when he was younger. So that's why he actually sounded the way he sounded. It's crazy. But yeah, Kofi, and that's another reason, right? Listening to you talk about what happened to Black men and women during slavery is a whole nother reason why I disdain slavery and the people that actually participated in putting us in that situation. Yo, my heart, like just listening to, imagine those human beings that had to go through that. So anybody that participated in slavery, like I hate them, yo. Like it's just no, like, because you gotta feel something for the victims of slavery. You just gotta feel something for the victims of slavery, and for us being the products, right, or the byproducts of the people who went through the slave trade. Like I look at those people like they my ancestors. Their pain is my pain. So I disdain whether they're European or Africans on either side, whoever put us in that situation. I don't rock with none of them. I can't. I just listening to what Kofi said. Like that's, man.
Yeah, and it plays out, you know, the whole over sexuality, all of those tropes, like I say, still plays out today. And I'm actually, that's actually one of my latest issues that I've been talking about, the over sexuality and all of the tropes that came with, you know, that era. You know what I'm saying? How, you know, the Black man is lazy, you know, you know, the slave masters, you know, would put that trope on Black men and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just, I really feel you on that. And I, like I said, I heard you do a show months ago on it. I don't know if the book was out or if you was in the process of writing the book at that time or whatever, but I know you did a show on it though.
Yeah, I did a show on it a while back called the Mandingo Theory too. And but I was just getting a lot of my resources together, man, and then I went on and put the book together after. Well, the book just came out Friday. Yeah, I was just inspired because it was a lot of stuff that I didn't know about what was going on. So, especially about castration, just the whole thing dealing with sex, and even how they was where I found interesting, where I came across where when I talk about, you know, you say how they was making money, you know, the women was making money. They had what you would call brothels, and they would bring the men into the brothels, and then, you know, cover the women eyes up and let them, reach for their penises, and whichever penises that they wanted, they would grab them and take them in the back. So they were utilizing that you know, the Mandingos with the large phalluses, you know, to even make money. So they was pimping them out in the same thing. And you had the Europeans doing the same thing, making money with the sick. They were having sex games and stuff, man, making money with. And so, man, it was a lot of stuff, man, that I just found interesting that, you know, a lot of us don't talk about. So I was like, man, let me write a book and break down a lot of this different stuff in the book that people may not know of, you know, talk about origins of something and even talk about, because I wanted to understand the psychology, what makes them do some of the things they're doing. I talk about how they kept bouncing these ideals, just walking y'all through the psychology of the Arab and walking y'all through the psychology of the European on how they came to terms and the decisions that they made and to do all some of these crazy things that I talk about. And then I know a lot of people talk about the sex breeding. It's not a lot of documentation on sex breeding. So what I did was I got some narratives. I got narratives from slave narratives from escaped slaves, and I got slave narratives from free slaves who actually talked about in their own words on how they was slave breeding people, how they was matching people, putting male and female together that they thought was strong to, you know, to have a strong off breed, or even purchasing women, you know what I'm saying, and then putting them in and shoving them into a house with another man and already got the slave already ready to lay down and have sex with the girl without, you know, without her consent or without her permission. So it won't be me telling you this. I'm giving you from the slaves directly that was on the plantation, who actually seen it and who actually experienced that, because a lot of people have contention with slave breeding because there's not a whole lot of heavily documentation. So I give you people who was actually enslaved, who actually went through it, who actually seen it as well in one of the chapters. Am I still on?
Yeah.
Oh. I jumped off of that, man. But yeah, I don't want to hold y'all show up, man. But you know, I appreciate, man, and you know, anybody that want to get the book, you know, go to Same Tree Different Branch Publishing Company, my publishing company, and you can get it off there. Again, like I say, I guarantee you, and I'm saying this, I guarantee if you buy the book and you don't like the book, I'll give you your money back. But I guarantee if you buy the book, you're gonna enjoy the book. It's nice, easy to read. I got it formatted in a way where it's easy. It's almost 200 pages, and you can read the book within 2 or 3 days. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, hey, if you don't like the book, I'll give you your money back. But I guarantee you pick it up. It's an interesting book. It covers a variety of things that you may already know of, and may cover some things that you may not know of.
So yeah, so Kofi, you were saying that there's a wealth of information on the breeding. Matter of fact, I did a presentation. You see this book right here?
Mm-hmm.
It's called The American Slave Coast, the history of slave breeding industry. I got about 5 good books on the subject. Real, you know what I'm saying? Like detail. So the reason it seems to be the information is scarce on it, right? Because, you know, I study evolution. And when you control somebody's sexual practices, right? That's actually part of domestication, right? By way of artificial selection. So they tell the stories on how they used to put these 13, 14-year-olds naked, male and female, in a barn and keep them locked in for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
So you already know what's gonna happen, right? This is firsthand accounts. People talking about that, right? Because and then when you read the laws and legislation, what was going on was France and them was making slavery illegal, and so they was kind of gave America a heads up, right? So what they did was they started to actually produce, you know, their own slaves in America. So there was an actual industry based around that, because they were making the shipment of slaves illegal, but the institution itself was not illegal. It's the craziest thing ever. Like, we catch you on the high seas bringing slaves from Africa, right? Then we taking them back, okay? But I guess by the time you get to America and breed, like, you would have to go to war with America to make them stop that. And it's you know what I'm saying? And it was a war, and they called it Civil War. they ended up into that practice. But yeah, they actually bred us. And they did it because you remember Europeans were great breeders of dogs. See, we forget this. Race horses, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain trait you're looking for when you're breeding race horses. When you look at a racehorse, you do not find a racehorse in nature. As a matter of fact, you take a group of a stable of racehorses and put them back into nature, over a few hundred years, they'll go back to their natural way. Meaning the ones with the thin legs won't survive. The ones that are born with a little thicker legs will. And over time, the ones with the thicker legs and the fur coming off them, they're the wild horse variety.
Mm-hmm.
This is an evolutionary fact, right? So no, you do not find racehorses in the wild. Chef, man, you know about breeding of dogs. That's your thing. You talk about the misuse of breeding dogs and how it's wild.
Saying when the dogs get retarded, you done did too much.
Yeah, so the point is they bred us, right? They was trying to find, the ones that were strong. That's why you had the bucks. They was bigger, stronger. They was picking the bigger, stronger, and more docile males to mate, that hopefully to try to subdue that. So it was wild, yo, lad. This is I did a whole presentation. I'm gonna have to bring it back and do it again, but yeah.
And I need them books. I need you to send me, man, them books. I'm not send me the book, but send me the name of the book, man. I'm gonna actually probably buy 2 of them tonight.
I got you. Crazy, bro. Like the whole thing is crazy. The whole thing is crazy. I mean, like we when you really study this, yo, like when what was his name? Jimmy the Greek. He was a better. He was the first, actually the first bookie. It was on NBC, I believe, and he talked about how we was bred. They threw his ass off of TV for saying that. Look him up, Jimmy the Greek. He was working, I forget who he was working for. It was NBC. He was actually the first book. He's the first person to do that live book with the bookie, give you the line and all that shit right there. And he talked about how the athletes, how they was bred, right? And they threw him, but he was right though. They actually bred us. And they pick and choose had sex. Who was going to have sex, and that's called artificial selection. When humans select, right, different traits to mix back and forth. And you see it in dogs, and the gray wolf, yo, that's where all canines living today come from, and humans, aided in that process called artificial selection. And for everybody listening, that's how we know evolution is legitimate, because if a human being, right, can use artificial selection, then artificial selection in nature is called natural selection. Charles Darwin brought.
Yep. Powerful. That's, man, listen. So it would be in Kofi's book, even if you touched on the slave breeding industry over here, that I think that would give people the impetus to want to look further into it. But it definitely shed light on how we came about, right? Is actually heart-wrenching to actually think that we were actually produced like that, like an animal. A domestic animal is basically how we were classified for the most part. Like a horse or a chicken you could buy us at the market. Actual human beings. Another reason why I disdain the institution of slavery and the people that participated in it, right? You're talking about what was done to human beings, and not just any human beings. We're talking about what was done to us in particular. So, yeah, man, I'm a definitely cop the book, Kofi. Do Kofi got a wrench? Do you got a wrench over here, Kofi?
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, throw your link to your store in the channel. I mean, I guarantee you should get at least 30 sales off of the people that's in the chat right now. Now, I'm just saying 30.
Am I gonna give y'all a percentage if I get 30?
So we need about $5. We need $5 off of every book, Kofi.
Look, you wrote that book, and I'm not I'm not taking no money off of it because if there's anything wrong in it, I don't want to get shot. You dig what I'm saying? So you got to take that. You know,
man, and I don't mind that. I'm
right.
I'm tell you, I'm the type. I'm not a person who says they know everything. I'm not a person that's above, you know what I'm saying, critique. So I don't have a problem with people critiquing, or I don't even have a problem if somebody finds something wrong and they come back. That's me learning. You know, that's me learning. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I think I did pretty good. You know, when I put the book together, and like I said, I'm proud of the piece of work. That's why I'm saying that if anybody buy the book and they don't like the book, I give you the book back. But I guarantee once you get in the book, you're gonna get engaged in the book. When how I got the book set up. And I go through these different topics, and I guarantee that, like I'm saying, there's some stuff in there that, you know, a lot of people, you know, I'm not saying that I'm the first one with the information. I'm just saying that a lot of people, we don't touch and talk on some of these subject matters that I'm talking about inside of it, you know what I'm saying? Or even just looking at the psychology behind both of them, you know what I'm saying, on why they did some of the things that, you know, they actually did. But I'm just particularly just touching on castration, sex breeding, sex and sex abuse, you know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, man, I think it's a great piece of work. I'm proud of it, you know what I'm saying? And and I think people are like it, once they cop the book.
Yeah, I think that's important, Kofi, because I think that's something that we kind of glance over. Everybody knows about it, right? But I think that's something that's been kind of glanced over. And nobody's kind of went into detail about that. So I appreciate that, Kofi. Definitely.
Hey, yo, how much is it going for?
It's a dub 25.
That's it?
All right.
Yeah, it's almost a 200-page book. And like I'm saying, Ken, if you get it, brother, like I'm saying, if you don't like it, man, just let me know,
Well,
brother.
no. Even if I don't like books, I still keep them. It's just when people plagiarize when I want the money back. It ain't when they got them. I don't like. I'll keep a book I don't like.
What you say? We put it through the plagiarized checker, Kofi. We got Reggie, our own board plagiarized checker.
And I don't put that on Kofi. I wouldn't never put that on Kofi. I know he ain't like that. There's other people that's like that. Yeah, man. I support you, Kofi.
I appreciate it.
Got you, yo. Kofi said I ain't laughing. I ain't gonna burn your book up, Kofi.
No,
I know we good.
Kofi a good dude, man. He a real one. Kofi a real one.
Nah, but Kofi, we appreciate anything that a person putting something into the atmosphere for us. And I know as you produce more books, the books will get better, bro. Like,
they definitely
So that's
even with and I'll say this and I'll let y'all get back into it. Even with the situation with Bro Rich, I was mad at that time, but I appreciate that. And it might have been it might have not been in good intent, but I appreciate it and I took it and I learned from it. And what he said, I applied it. So it turned out to be a learning lesson for me. Yeah. So I appreciate it. I appreciate the learning lesson. You know what I'm saying? So I took that and applied that and, did what, and did what I have, that's why I said I'm very proud of this piece of work. And then I got something else that's coming, which was supposed to be a surprise. And it's still going, I got another book that I'm working on that's going to probably, and it's inspired by LaDosha. You on the documentary, ain't you?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm in the documentary. And that documentary inspired me to write a book because everybody talking about one particular thing. And I'm talking about a whole nother thing when it comes to the African hair and the products that they use and the meanings behind the hair and what happened, via the slave trade and prior to pre-colonization. So, so they inspired me to that thing inspired me, man, to write out another. I don't know, really got enough information gathered. I done an article. If people want to read the article, you can go to KofiPice.writtencomposition.com. I got a whole article on that I did about 2 years ago. I got a whole presentation I did about 3 or 4 years on there. I got tons of book on the subject matter. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna be pretty good. Gonna shock some people too, because when we start talking about straightening hair, when we start talking about curls, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna break down the scientific thing that 85% of Africa has kinky hair and 15% of Africans have straight hair, have curly hair, have blonde hair, have brown hair, have red hair, and even straighten their hair when we say that's not RBG, because a person got their hair, because a woman straightened their hair. And I'm gonna show and give documentations of and the ingredients that they use in order to straighten the hair, and give you the ethnic group that was doing certain things, even with the locks, you know what I'm saying? The representation of the locks, because I done heard something different, that the locks is European now. So I gotta break that down and kill.
You froze, yo. You hear me, Chef?
Yeah, I can hear y'all.
Yeah, it's computer. I think his computer froze up real quick.
Froze up. You probably was doing too much, Kofi. You hope you ain't make none of it up just now. It froze you out. We got an instant pseudo button.
It's on automatic. The pseudo button on automatic. No,
That's crazy, yo.
I'm fucking with you, Kofi.
Crazy.
Mr. Anderson, come get you. No. Damn well. All them niggas said that.
Man, John went out, yo.
Oh shit. That's funny, yo. I wanted to ask him, where he gotta come back. We're gonna get this.
Yeah, y'all go cop that. You know, he got the merch to go with it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey Kofi, listen. Now listen, bro. You just happened to come in at the right time. So we've been having a conversation. And I want to put the link out, and I want some sisters to come on the panel, right? And yo, you remember where that show is you did, Kofi?
I'm not telling you.
Hey, Corey, we can play the show at the I said, Kofi, don't do the show.
A couple people told me don't do the show, and I did anyway.
I say, don't do the show. I say, man, don't start talking about black women vaginas, yo. You'll get in trouble, yo. Don't. He said that.
That is crazy.
Yo, so I know what you was trying to do, yo. You was trying to talk about, it's just, you can't do it. You trying to talk about the female mutilation. I don't even think they wouldn't call it that. What would they call it, Kofi? Don't run. Where you at? This is what we do. The show don't start till we come across a daggone controversial topic, yo. Where you at?
What is it?
Yeah, female circumcision or whatever.
Yeah.
Circumcision, yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, but it's really mutilation of private parts.
Right.
That's
they
what
do that
it
over in
is.
Africa somewhere.
Yeah, and they probably do it up in Africa. Like that's what they do. Kofi.
Nah, you know, it froze up. It froze up.
You know what? I can't do it.
For me, it was like they were trying to say that, we need to respect Africans and their cultural practices. And no, they are, those females are human beings being mutilated. We supposed to protect human beings that's being mutilated by a backward culture. It's like we can't say that it's backward because it's African. No, it is backward. That is mutilation. That is some old sick juju shit. And then what's crazy is a lot of that stuff was introduced by misinterpretation of Islamic scripture. And I brought it in the house, so who's on? That's another key thing, right? So in one aspect, we talk about how Islam is foreign to Africa, right? And then when you can point out the negative effects that Islam then had on African culture, y'all don't, sometimes we don't even know when to separate it. in the seat, you know what I mean? So it's crazy that female circumcision, right? And there's no such thing as female circumcision. Call it what it is. It's human mutilation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
you know.
Yeah.
So let me dive in. This is what I want to get in that, man.
Let me say this.
It's men trying to control women's sexuality. That's what it is.
Hold
exactly.
On. Woo.
And hold on. Now, in certain Islamic what you call it, doctrine or whatever, that they promoted that females should not enjoy sex.
Yep, that's what it is.
Right? So it was certain Muslim practices that end up taking root in Africa, right? Where if you remove that part of the female sexual organ, then that will prevent her from enjoying sex. So sex was only for procreation. The man can enjoy, but the female shouldn't enjoy it. It is a sick. Oh my God, to do that to a child, man. Go ahead, y'all.
Yeah, you literally cut off the clitoris, right? And yeah, because you want a virgin. Now this is where I'm disappointed in you, Cosmic Corey, because I appreciate your stance on religion. Like, how you say it? How you say it? Theist, anti-theist. Am I correct? Disappeared. How you say it, Chef?
What?
How does Corey say that? He said he's an anti-theist.
So
yeah, anti-theist.
Okay, so watch this. He routinely talks about how religion is dangerous for humanity. Am I correct in that? But I don't.
Yep. I do. Go ahead.
You do, right? So this is my disappointment in your stance lately. If you truly thought that religion was dangerous for humans' existence, I would expect you to go a little bit deeper, because on the surface, it sounds like a slap crazy stance, bro. And I've often questioned, come on, that couldn't be the worst thing that happened to humans' religion. And our grandmother, Chef, he gonna throw his grandmother at us, right? But after these conversations this weekend, and then I'm gonna put the link out, because I don't want to be talking about women. I have no women around, right? After this week conversation, bro, I don't even think you realize how deep your statement was. Let me tell you how deep your statement was. The conversations we was having about males, black men treating black women, or white women and the male, and I always say that the women are the marginalized population on planet Earth, and the back and forth or the black men would. All I gotta say is one word. God is a man. That's the answer to the question. If God is a man, then men had the ability to control the circumstances that would bring religion into the world based off of a man. That's a control factor. That's it. Right? And we fight to try to make, through our ignorance, we try to make the woman the goddess. You got to fight for that nonsense. Just her being a woman ain't enough, right? But if God is a man, then we got to read the story. So it's actually religion, right, that helped the man implement his superiority. That's why he feels as though he's superior to the woman, because guess what? God made the world and everything in it. You only got to read the Bible. The woman becomes a helpmeet. And this has been downloaded in African Americans and continental Africans around the world. But even prior to Christianity, God been a damn man. Hold on. We talked about vagina mutilation, right? We talk about the loss of control of their sexuality. Yeah, that's what it's really about. It's about the woman's loss of control of her sexuality. That's what the shit is about. The equal, this and that and that. But the core base of all that, bro, is the shit you've been talking about. It's the religion. Because guess what? In religion, a woman is unpure and she's filthy if she'd had sex. That's why Jesus got to come from a virgin, a woman that never had no sex. But a man, he can have as many partners as he wants. But Lord have mercy, don't let that woman have had sex one time, then she's unpure. She's unfit to have God. The whole Christian doctrine is based around the control of the female genitals. She can't even say no. I don't want to be impregnated by you, God. The man chooses who he wants to choose to let the baby come through. Once again, she can't control the act. You don't read in the Bible where Mary say, "No, I don't want you." Why? Because the man controls that. The immaculate conception, the virgin birth, Ruminus and Romulus, and you know what I'm saying? All that, the control. Where the man can write the story and pick and choose who he want to have sex with. See, that's it. Lord knows, don't let a woman have, if a woman says she got like, she can't have over 50, if she got 15 sexual partners in a whole lifetime, you said, don't have 5 in a year. We've been made to think that is something wrong when a woman has the ability to choose her partners. Like, so a man can have 50 partners in his lifetime, and nigga, you showing your royal oath. But if a woman have, you done had 3 boyfriends in a year, I don't know, you're a whore. Yeah, because men control this narrative. How do they control it? They control it through the most powerful force that human beings have. That's their belief. And who co-opted our beliefs? I'll breathe in mind. It was religion that co-opted that shit. So who wrote this shit? Ain't no female prophets in the Bible of mention.
Deborah, but go ahead.
Right, see? You got to say it. It's the one. You got to say, it's always going to be one.
No, Deborah, Esther.
Keep going. Keep going.
Hold on. I'm going to stop right there. I'm not very versed in the Bible, but I can.
It's not many. You got Deborah, you got Esther, you got Mary, and
Mary, that's in the Mary, you gonna say Mary. You mean the one that don't got no control over what God impregnate her? Like she can't say. See, that's my point. They have been relegated to second-class citizens, bro. And I'm saying the way you get relegated to a second-class citizen is you don't have control over who has sex with you. And watch this. This fits right into your book, Kofi. This is why, right? Africans, period, lost control of their sexuality, right? That's what you're talking about. So if Africans in general lost control of their reproduction organs, what the hell do you think happened to women? The whole world. You can read Diop's book. Let me see. Diop tells you that the first thing that occurred was incest. So what you think them men was doing? Right? You know what I'm saying? As humans grew and became civilized, they started to put together certain codes and regulations based off of learning shit, right? And so this whole thing about the strong man, and you got to be strong and masculine to be a man, right? That comes from the fact that you can hit a damn woman in the chest, yo. And in the Stone Age, ain't nothing she can do about it. Who's gonna call the police? Vulnerable. Women are most vulnerable, 8, 9, 10 months, right? Pregnant, vulnerable. Okay, she needs somebody. Then after she had the baby, if she don't lose her life, right? I'm gonna say this again. If she doesn't lose her life in childbirth, right, then she vulnerable again after she had the baby, right? Because now you need enough water and food to produce the milk. We're talking the Stone Age, and men is there, they got to do that. Somebody got to do that. There's no getting around that. Hunting is the hardest thing you can do in the ancient world. I hate to tell you. So after you done drop that baby, you ain't running around with a spear. I know you think you're gonna be able to do it. You're not gonna be able to do it. Vulnerable. vulnerable, depending on you for your subsistence. So at this point, you thinking I'm the mighty man. Shit, you would have to think that. It's ignorance. We thinking, watch this, we think that survival of the fittest is the strongest and the most fit, and men thought that until Charles Darwin came and leveled the playing field. What you talking about, huh? Yeah, when you talk in terms of evolution, it ain't the strongest. It's the strongest genes. So you can be the most wildest clan in the world, super murdering clan, and you fight so much that you get decimated and you fight yourself out of existence. So Cosmic Core, that is the great conundrum. You was always right, bro. It was religion that is the most death-defying dangerous to the human population because it forces women in a subservient position because it takes away her control of her sexual parts.
Well, I'll say this, and the reason why I did that, and when I did that presentation years ago,
I kind of got off that. I don't dive back in. I helped you.
No, go ahead, dive in there, Kofi.
Oh shit.
Oh, I mean, because see, people miss why I did the presentation. I didn't say I was pro that. I was just trying to throw something out there where, okay, this was mutilation. You know what I'm saying? This was some type of surgery that was some type of alteration on the body, on these girls' vaginas, which they had 3 or 4 different levels when it comes to circumcision in a woman. It was different ways that they did them. And but anyway, so I was just trying to make a thing was, okay, what about, do we have a problem with other alterations when other women alterate their bodies? So when you go through the presentation, when I go through the presentation, I talk about women getting breasts, getting breasts. I talk about women getting alterating and getting their body parts. Like even it's a thing where now where they're getting new vajayjays. So now they're alternating their vajayjays. I forgot what it's called because it's been so long. So looking at the studies, I showed the documentations of all this type of stuff. So there was an alteration in Africa that was going on, that I disapprove of. There's a lot of things that I disapprove of. So I was saying, okay, it was a lot of stuff that was going on. It was a lot of Europeans who got involved in that, and they got this practice stopped, right? They got this practice stopped all the way across the board. So now when we get to America, women are alternating their bodies and nobody is saying anything about it. They're getting their vajayjays done. I can't remember what it's called, but they're getting their vajayjays done, which is an alteration on the private part. They're getting their butts done. They're getting their breasts done, but nobody is outraged with them going to spend all this money and women are losing their lives behind some of these alterations that they are getting. People bleeding to death, getting these butts and damn near bleeding to death because you go through a process where you bleeding all the time because all of these different wounds. I ain't gonna tell you how I know this, but
tell us, it's the Pseudo Killas.
I ain't gonna tell you. So I would just try to make a point, that the alterations are still going on, but people are making a thing about this, and they should. But why are we not making a thing about our women that are altering their bodies and people are dying on the table or dying after they get home, after they alterating their private parts, their butts and their breasts? That was the whole legit behind it. But a lot of people miss that because soon as I got to talking about the clicking off the clitoris, and I even talked about, which you broke down when we talked about the Dogon tribe. When I told you about the Dogon tribe and how that became, it was a part of their myth, and that myth spilled over into their culture, where they thought that a woman wasn't always a woman because they thought this was a part of a penis. So this was the psychology then was, okay, let's cut this off. She's not fully a woman till she get, her clitoris cut off. They thought this was a penis, a small penis. And this was the psychology they used because they used a mythos through, one of the Dogon mythos, which, like I said, spilled over. But the whole essence of it was just to get people to talk about the alterations of what's going over here in the United States, but people miss that, and it flowed out and it turned into a whole ball of confusion with these women when we start talking about that.
So let me get this straight. The Dogon ain't have enough sense to know that wasn't a penis, but they seen a star, yo.
I couldn't even say it, and I forgot where I'm at when I mentioned the Dogon.
And you mean to tell me the greatest Saw Hotel, Wuxia,
I know that was
Nazi
coming.
clan warriors, they all fought us. And the Dogon didn't know that you was mutilating the woman's vagina? Man.
Now look at the Dogon over
All right,
there.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, y'all.
Jesus Christ.
You about to start a war again.
I appreciate you.
I'm neutral. I love both of y'all. I love that side.
We talking about the Dogon, dog.
The Dogon.
I know, but you finna pull me into that Dogon. I ain't trying to get involved in that Dogon conversation.
I just couldn't believe. Yo, that'd have been a nice piece of information to have about 6 months ago. I had to get that in. Hey, Chef, come on, yo, we had to get that one. We couldn't let that slide, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That crazy.
Where you at, Concrete, Corey?
Yeah, 5-6 months ago, that would have been nuts. We knew that little piece right there. That would have been hilarious.
Man. Hey, we got somebody in the chat. We got Donnie Williams in there. Hey, Donnie, you got that link? You can hit that link. We don't do the chatty patty, yo. We can come on and have a conversation.
What Donnie say?
Yeah, she keep deleting his mouth. I don't see nothing Donnie wrote yet.
I don't delete nobody.
She deleted his messages, y'all. I don't see nothing.
No, don't delete Donnie messages, man. Don't leave him alone, yo. Donnie, get there. We got, as long as you ain't cussing. Listen, for all the moderators and everybody, right? As long as you ain't doing the Tiffany cussing people out. That's different. I'm saying I don't want to see Tiffany and CK go back and forth like that. Cussing. Yeah, I mean, Tiffany cussing like a sailor. Like she's saying, I'm like, Tiffany
French now.
We're talking about Tiffany French. We talking Tiffany French here. And she decides to go live and fuck with Pseudo Killas. I'm not saying that about you. I'm just simply saying, we just need to have better decorum now. Me, Chef, and Corey, we go off, we holler and scream, but we ain't, you bitch ass nigga, we ain't doing that. Like, because you know what I'm saying? We ain't, so we're not gonna allow other people to do that. So Tiffany, you gotta relax. Like Miss French, we value your opinion, right? We also value the way you get it off. Now, when the bros going back and forth, we going back and forth, right? There's a little showmanship to the whole damn thing. That's why we back at it the next day. We not you bitch ass nigga motherfucker. That probably would cause a problem. So no, we don't want that in our discourse. We don't mind heavy debate because these topics do this. Right, absolutely. Like we have opinions on things. Some things we can prove, some things we can't prove. Talking shit is the level. It is what the show is about. It's about putting together good information, right? Debating it. You could be wrong. It's about having an opinion. It's about that. What you say, Kent? Right in the middle.
No, my bad. I was clearing my throat. Go ahead.
No, you wasn't. Funny guy. Anyway.
No, I was, man. Go ahead.
Anyway,
I'm finna get off here, man. I'm finna get off here, bro. I gotta jump up off.
Yeah, you gotta go. Yeah.
I appreciate y'all, man, for letting me plug my book, man. I appreciate Unc letting me on the panel because I've seen a couple of shows where Concrete Core was trying to get me on the panel. And Unc, I don't know what was going on. I done talked to Unc a couple of times over the phone, but I know trying to get on the panel, it was a no-go for Kofi getting on the panel. He know me and he know.
No, that wasn't true. You probably misread that. Nah, I'm a stand-up guy.
Yeah, Kofi. Yeah, I always.
But it was a no-go on your side too, Kofi. They was kicking us off for saying hi to you and shit.
Yeah, I mean, but that is out, but it's back. I mean, y'all back on there. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. But
yes,
I'm finna go.
On the bridge.
I don't let nobody choose my friends. I don't let nobody choose my friends. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be friends with who I want to be friends with, and they can be friends with who they want to be friends with. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it is, man. But anyway, man, I appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna be watching, man, from afar, man. But I've been online all day, man. I'm finna.
Yeah, I'm a cop. Let me know. Send me that bill for a couple of them joints, man, so I can put them in the store. You already know.
All right, I got you, man. Well, peace to y'all, man. Y'all have a good one. And peace to I see Sister Julanda and Miss Tiffany.
Don't go nowhere yet.
Don't go.
You got the women on you now.
Come on, you can't leave like that.
You just started talking about the JJs, now they.
You already know.
Real
quick, like, let's make the distinction though. One is a personal choice. The other is a forced cultural action. Let's be clear. Let me put out a few more things. Those BBL situations, again, a lot of those instances where these women are dying are done in other countries where the medical standards are not the same as the United States, like in the Dominican Republic or South America. I had a friend talking about going to get one. I told her behind if she wanted to do anything like that, take her ass to Orlando and go get Sona Bella. Don't be going to no other countries because they already don't value you as a Black woman. So they, or women, period. So don't do that.
They have them.
Don't do that.
They have them here. And I know personally, I done been there. I done been to the facilities. And I'm not gonna say how or why or who I was with, but I've been to those facilities in I've been to the top 2 in Miami. I've been to the top 2. You know what I'm saying? So I know what goes on. I know a few people, and I know somebody personally, you know what I'm saying, that died. I know somebody personally that almost died. And I know how the procedures work, you know what I'm saying, because I know somebody personally who got one. And what happened and the stuff that they asked them to do before they even went and got what they had got done. So I know these things personally, and I did some research because I was concerned about this person doing something to alter her body. And then what I actually said was going to happen, it actually happened, and had to get a blood transfusion. Almost died. Another person I know almost died, had to get a blood transfusion. So I know quite a few people that went to the top 2 facilities in Miami where everybody goes. And if you go there, I don't care what day you go, you can go Monday through Friday. They are full. They are full when you get there. When they open up at 8 o'clock, they close at 5 p.m. They are full the whole time. You got people coming in, getting their consultation done, waiting for to see the doctor, and you got people, and they doing it at a rapid where they doing 7 or 8 procedures a day. How can you operate on 7 or 8 people a day? You getting them and getting them out of there. And a lot of these women, they are not only getting their butts done, but they getting a 360. So they getting everything on their body altered. They getting their breast altered. They getting their butt altered. They getting their arms box altered. They getting the stomach altered. They getting everything. They getting the fat off their neck altered. I was in a facility where one woman was getting a whole 360. So I'm just saying it's not just in South America.
I didn't say that. I didn't say it was just in South America. And I understand there can be some malpractice in the United States, but I also understand that the medical procedures are different. I mean, I know people who went through it personally also. I'm not downgrading what you're saying. I'm just making
Juju. Juju, hold on.
Okay.
Can we speak to what's really going on here? Who sets the parameters of what booty is? Men do. This year, 3 years ago, it was the young woman, right? That's why everybody want to be super small, like a young girl, right? Like before you have a baby. That's always the beauty. If it was up to a woman, she beautiful before she had the baby and after she had the baby. But it's men and their perception of what they think beauty is, that's a men thing, right? All the big butts now, all the men, right? You gotta have the big butts.
I think it's women that be
Hold on for a minute, Corey. I'm telling you, though.
I think women set them parameters.
The new thing is the big butts. I'm telling you.
I love them.
See,
my butt is flat as a mofo, and I ain't never finna go get no
hold
BBL.
on, listen, I just want to finish my point.
Panel.
I just want to finish my point. My point is, it's still a male-orientated thing, to please men. Think about that for a minute. Really think about this whole dynamic we have in here. But go ahead. Let the woman speak. Go ahead. Let me shut up.
I'm just saying, and the BBL wasn't the only thing we wanted to discuss. Me and Tiffany on here together with it. I mean, I understand the situation, Kofi, but I also think there are other factors. Like a lot of these women I feel like are going against medical advice and doing too many things at once also because they want that instant gratification. Like there's a multitude of things going on here. But Also with the female mutilation. I remember when you did that show. So, I mean, it has to be done. I didn't
What's
find the
the
problem.
name of it, Juju? We trying to find it.
I'm not, don't tell him.
Nah,
I want to chime
I
in.
won't tell him, Kofi, but
I think we
I want to chime in on that
Go
point.
ahead. Go ahead.
I will.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let you, Tiffany. Let me finish, Tiffany.
Oh,
let me
okay,
finish, but I'm gonna let you go, sis. I'm gonna let you go. But yeah, we just want to. I mean, the first time I ever heard anything about that was reading Alice Walker's "Possessing the Secret of Joy." And if y'all ain't read that book, go read it, because I mean, she's a good writer, and it was just horrific and mind-blowing to me that even took place. You get what I'm saying? But definitely when you're talking about vaginal rejuvenation, that's the term you were looking for, Kofi, and female circumcision, not the same. So I don't think we should be putting those terms together. That's it. Miss Tiff.
Yeah, I think
I appreciate that.
I think that it's not fair to like even equate the two things, because one was clearly forced on young girls that had no choice in the matter. Like that, they're so far apart. It's almost diminishing that to compare it to grown women who are making the choice for whatever reason they're making a choice. I'm not condoning it or whatever, or not condoning it or whatever. But the point is, one was done to young women that was forced on them, traumatic and all kind of different complications with that, which is it just shouldn't be compared to women getting cosmetic surgery. That's kind of insulting and diminishing, really.
I mean, I talked about that too, Miss Tiffany. I talked about the complications and the things going on. But, I just, like I said, it was not to say that I was pro that, but, I just had I did, and I still do at times. Well, I just have a problem with women not acknowledging, their own worth. You know what I'm saying? They feel like they have to go get something done, which may be life-threatening, to feel good about themselves or impress their friends or to impress another man. I just feel, so I was just trying to, and I might have hit the mark wrong where I was trying to compare the two, which is still an alteration, and you still can die from both, from both. But that was the whole thing that I was just trying to, to try to get out, try to get out of the presentation that I did about 4 years ago.
All right.
Yeah, my poom poom hurt every time y'all talk about it.
That's Unc with that. He the one who brung that mess up.
That's one of the most gruesome things you can think about. Like, that's wild crazy, man. I
could never imagine like somebody gonna die in that room. It's gonna be me or whoever trying to perform it, but one of us dying. It ain't going down.
Right. Yeah, that's happening. Kind of diminishes the traumatic aspect of it. So yeah, it probably was definitely not the best choice of things to kind of juxtapose against one another. So, but yeah, definitely not. Anywho.
So how do y'all feel? Because a lot of y'all is what you call Afrocentric. So how do y'all feel about the practice in Africa? Do y'all think that we should actively advocate for those cultural practices to be banned and outlawed in those countries? Or do y'all feel like Africans have the right to practice their cultural practices? Or do y'all feel like it's right to impose, our standard on them? Go ahead, female.
Wow. Well, I mean, I'm not with that at all. But I'm not with female genital mutilation. I mean, and a whole bunch of other stuff that's probably that's going on the continent, but I don't know how it shows up to actually, enforce my standards on the situation. It gets dicey there. It gets dicey there.
I don't know how we would exercise. Okay, so I think that's a hard one, Chef. In a simple notion, it is not our place.
Yes, it is.
Exercise our views, our cultural standards on another culture, another country. And that's just not for.
I think I
but it is though,
I disagree with that.
It's just not for.
Okay, but my thing is, hold on with what y'all saying though.
Can I finish my point?
Go ahead. My bad.
Can I finish speaking?
I got
it's not a popular. It's not a popular opinion. It's not going to be a popular opinion. That's not the only. There's a lot of instances. Well, I mean, like, how will we go about that? It's like an abused woman. You could try to take her out of the situation, but she might run back. We're
talking about kids. We're talking about kids. But go ahead.
Okay, but there are a lot of women who advocate for that in those cultures.
We're talking about kids.
For what, Juju?
So how are we going to stop that?
No, advocate for what, Juju? Just trying to hear what you're saying.
The female mutilation. Like,
because it's a cultural practice.
Yeah, he said culture. That's what I'm saying. It's different elements. Circumcision doesn't define African traditions and customs. So he said culture. That's why he need to reword the question better, because they thinking he's talking about circumcision. And then if we talking about the custom and culture, let's run down the line of what it is that this, because there is a lot that we can take and imply that I have implied and I have utilized within my own household and how I raise my kids. And there's things that I run from that is outdated. You know what I'm saying? Even stuff that was taught on me in America, it's outdated. What my grandmother taught me, I shy away from those things. So I take the pieces that is valuable and that I see that can be used in real time and effective in real time. So we can't throw away the whole culture because you may have a gripe between what these people are doing on the continent. Yes, what that did, but that doesn't define what African culture is. And Africa is an ethnic group with over almost 4,400 different ethnic groups within this continent.
And all the groups don't
do the same thing.
But it's just so happened though, Kofi,
but for children,
that all the things you threw away,
we shouldn't mutilate our children.
Right, I'm saying throw that away, but I'm saying he said culture. So explain what the culture is, because there are different elements to the culture. There's a lot of good stuff within the culture, and there's a lot of stuff that we can throw away that's not good for us. So that's what I'm saying. He had to go through what are these elements in the culture.
It was the circumcision. Okay,
I want to add something, Chef.
Oh, I thought you were saying the culture in general.
No, I was saying that the female circumcision was a part of certain African cultures. And I was saying that, I was asking, should we actively pursue abolishing or getting those things outlawed?
It's already outlawed. It's already outlawed. You had Europeans who came in, and you had different groups within those cultures of women. That I can't think of the organization at this time. It's escaping my mind, but it was an organization that was put together with indigenous African women and Europe, and a European organization that came together years ago. And every country in Africa did not have this practice because every culture is different. Some of similarity, but it has been abandoned all the way across the board. That practice no longer exists in Africa, and it
still exists. But
it's like abortion.
It's just illegal.
I'm gonna pull it up. It's been abandoned. I can't. Hold on. Go ahead, y'all.
No, the national stance on it says one thing, but Africa is not regulated like the United States. Those countries are not regulated like that. So those practices still go on.
They don't, Chef. I'm telling you, they banned. I'm finna pull it up.
I agree that the ban happened. And I'm saying just like there's a ban on certain things in the United States, but people still do the shit. You feel me? Like that's what I'm saying. Like
ban, right?
Yeah. And I'm saying that because within those, since Africa is so diverse, right, and has so many different tribes and cultures within one country, right, it is hard to regulate that across. If the national government, outlaws something, there's so many villages and tribes within one country that feel like they have their own government system. So that shit is hard as hell to regulate. Those people ain't listening to them.
All right, hold on. Go ahead, Tiff. Hold on for a minute. Go ahead, Tiff. You want to say something? Your hand raised.
Yeah, I was just going to add to that I mean, the best we could do would be to support women in those countries, in their advocacy. So, I mean, I'm with that, right? So, and I agree, Chef. It would be hard to regulate everything that's going on. I'm sure there's places where it's still going on. So, I'm guessing if we are made aware of that, by some of the women there that are able to reach out, to the Western world or whatnot, then I'm all for helping them in their fight to end that practice. So
awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, I wanted to say before, right? Because Kofi said like some of the practices like that Granny did, like he don't do with the kids, right? With his kids. And most of the time those practices, right, that we do away with, that Granny and them used to do, those be the religious things. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I be having my anti-theist stance, right? It ain't that I don't want people to have the right to practice their religion. I'm anti-theist, and what I'm saying is theism promotes ignorance, right? So thinking that a woman's private parts should be somehow mutilated, because of some religious practice. I mean, it's just all of it leads to that. All of those. It don't matter whether they're African or Western or wherever it come from, right? And they all lead to those types of things.
So yeah, the practice for me is just barbaric, and is based off of lack of education, and on understanding the human body, how it works. That's exactly what it is. It's ignorance, and there are a lot of ignorant cultural practices, and just because it's African or Australian or American, it's just downright barbaric, and we got to call it what it is. And so human beings come out of a state of barbarism. Okay, like there's just, and I start off the conversation with this on how just the whole thing was controlled by males in the beginning. Diop's talks about this, the incest piece. Okay, and eventually that thing changed, but it was what it was, and it's based off of the physical nature. It's the physicality, and I made the statement that the physicality, being physical in nature, isn't always the thing that gets you through. But it's just a fact that the organism, the mammal that is Homo sapiens sapiens, in general, the males are bigger and stronger. In general, we don't speak in absolutes. Generally speaking, that's the way it goes. And in certain species, the female is bigger, right? But in Homo sapiens sapiens, it's a fact. It's not a good thing for females to play NFL football, right? But the very fact that you're that strong and could dominate a woman is the fact that we're really talking about. That's how these things got implemented, through physicality, not through education. Once we got to the level of education, then we start to realize, that there needs to be things equal. Okay, and it took a long time, and that's why you had these movements called the feminine movement. And let's read the definition for this real quick, because everybody messed it up. I'm not even gonna give people on this panel a chance to mess that up. I'm not gonna argue through that. So let's just read what it is, right? And let's see who actually agrees with it. Very simple. One paragraph. We can get this out the way. Okay? Feminism is a range of social political movements and ideologies. Okay? A range, meaning you got different scales, right? So you shouldn't destroy feminism based off of some wild, overexertive woman promoting it wrongly. You just shouldn't. That shouldn't be the characterization of what it really was supposed to be, right? Okay, it's a range of social political movements and ideologies that aim to define, establish, watch this. This is where the rubber meets the road. Establish the political, economic, personal, and social equality of sexes. That's it. Feminism incorporates the position that society prioritizes the male point of view. Yeah, God is a man, remember? It's right there for you to see. You can catch this if you want to. It's right here for you, right? Okay, here you go. Prioritizes the male point of view and that women are treated unjustly in these societies. Efforts to change this includes fighting against gender stereotypes. You better not have more than 5 sexual partners in your lifetime or you're a trick. Right, watch this. And establishing educational, professional, and interpersonal opportunities and outcomes for women that are equal to those of men. Who amongst you don't agree with this right here? Simple. This is simple. So I'm gonna let y'all know right, I'm gonna make my stance. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Ain't no cut calls for me, right? I'm not gonna fight that or argue that. I'm not gonna let a wild woman out of nowhere cussing and fussing, talking about, hating on black men and all that, sway me from that point, because that's not what it's about. It definitely wasn't about hating men of any color. It never said that. Now, human beings range in everything. There's a range in atheism. There's a range in religion to the point where you end up in a damn cult, right? There's range. So we're not going to take the outliers, right? That make it to YouTube. Hold on. The extremists that make it to YouTube, right? And promote that slap foolery. I rest my case. Somebody hit the link. Where y'all at? Down, you ain't hit the link yet. You in that chatty patty talking.
Yeah, I think we was clearing that up earlier. It's the feminists that are misandrous that we hate, or not hate, but you know what I'm saying. It's those are the loudest. It seems like to me, in my experience with the feminists, I run into the misandrous, which is the women that don't like men. They hate them. They got all kind of shit.
What's
to say
the term
about
you used? I never heard that before.
Misandrous.
Misandrous. Or misandrous, or one of the other.
Opposite of what, y'all? That's the opposite of
misogyny, I think.
Is it? Yeah,
misogynistic. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's funny.
Yeah. I wanted to say earlier though, right? I think there's a definition for feminism, and then I think there's a feminist movement. Right? And I don't think those things are the same thing.
Yes, it is.
That's just my point.
Corey.
Yes, they are, Corey. He just read it.
Just read it.
You want to listen there's a movement.
I'm in the car with you, Corey. I'm in the car with you, Corey.
There's a movement, and then there's a definition.
The definition sounds great.
I don't know how somebody could disagree with that statement right there.
But how has the movement not upheld that statement? How has the movement not upheld that statement?
Yeah, it's the misandrous, Corey, that we really met.
Don't convolute the conversation with the misandrous things, because it's going to take us down the rabbit hole. And
those are the feminists that hate men.
I hate when we get so cloudy that the argument gets everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
No, we ain't
what about the definition that he read?
And I agree with the definition.
So how has the definition?
We all can agree with that definition.
Feminism,
but then we have a movement.
There go right there. That's what he read. Listen, feminism is a range of socio-political movements and ideologies that aim to define and establish the political, economic, personal, and social equality of the sexes, right?
Right. So it's a range of movements, right? Exactly. So the range of the movement, right? That's the one that's making all the noise right now, right?
The extremists.
They are the extremists. Yeah. That's the range right now. And I'm saying the same thing y'all saying. Those y'all saying, well, that's a minority, or that's not all of them. And I'm saying that too. But what I'm saying is those ones are the loudest, and those ones are making the most. They are getting the most attention. They lead. They're the leaders of the movement.
I
agree with that.
No middle ground. I don't hear the middle ground women like Miss Tiffany. I hear Miss Tiffany, and I don't. And when I hear women like Miss Tiffany, I don't. It doesn't. Feminist does not come to my mind when I hear people like Miss Tiffany talk. You know what I'm saying? Like that. It's just her
what about Tiffany French?
Talk is totally opposite of that to me.
What about Tiffany French, though?
That's just my opinion. That's just me.
What about Tiffany French, though, Corey?
I don't know her stance on.
She was on the other side. She was fighting against CK. She on the other side extremes.
What'd she say?
I think they were more. I think she was more or less having an argument about white feminism versus black feminism, in which she was saying, well, what do they do for this, and what do they do for the different other movements that they don't support? And she was asking CK that.
Yeah, why does that make sense though? I'm gonna let Juju. I know where you at. You gonna talk shit about it because
right. So Juju has the same stance. Yeah.
Right. So go ahead. Explain that. Explain what you trying to say. Because black women do got a right to tweak and modify anything. Like that's your agency. You have that ability to do that. But that doesn't negate from the fact that you need equal rights, equal pay. It's right here. Look, watch this. Doesn't negate from the fact that have campaigned, right, to continue to campaign for women's rights.
I don't know why y'all keep highlighting things that go without saying.
Can I just finish though?
That should go without saying.
But can I finish though? Because then the argument will go. We're going to talk over each other. We're going to get yelling and screaming. We don't got to do that. I'm reading a different portion of the definition. Feminist movements have campaigned to continue the campaign for women's rights. They continue to do that, including the right to vote, run public office, work and earn equal pay, own property, receive education, enter contracts, have equal rights within marriage, maternity leave. So last time I checked, they made it illegal to have abortions. That's men doing that. See, there's no way around it. It's men controlling the sexual parts of women. That's crazy as hell right there, bro.
What I'm saying, though, you got to listen my point, carefully. Though, right? I heard your point. But I want you to listen very, very carefully to what I'm saying. No black man wrote any of that legislation. In the black household, the woman is equal to the black man. The black man don't, for the most part, I'm not saying you can't find me some anecdote. I'm sure everybody can point to all the anecdotes. But the overwhelming majority of black men in the black families, we on equal footing.
Because of what? Go ahead, Corey. Because of what? I'm listening.
It ain't because of nothing.
No, man, because of what?
Because we ain't the ones, black men ain't the ones like white women, right? Oppressing. Because when that white woman, let me tell you, when that white woman go home after the women's rights march, right?
Mm-hmm.
She go home and practice racism, white supremacy,
mm-hmm.
right beside her husband. As a matter of fact, she do it better than him.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is
mm-hmm.
that shit right there
mm-hmm.
is the black man ain't perpetuating that. That's what when the civil rights movement was going on, we was fighting for human rights.
Okay.
For black people, not black men, not black women,
civil rights, Corey.
not black women, not black women. We wanted everybody. We wanted black people to have the right to vote.
It was civil rights, Corey. Don't get it mixed up.
Listen. We wanted black people to have the right to vote.
Okay.
We wanted black people to be able to be going out and getting paid right.
Okay.
Right? We wanted black people to be able to sit on the bus wherever the fuck they want to sit at. Right? That's what the black man been fighting for black people. Right? So when it comes to that, I don't think the black man has anything to do with passing legislation to take away from women's rights. So, and the black man ain't writing the rules of that Bible talking about women's issues or whatever.
May I say something?
Yeah, you had a black man on a Roe versus Wade that voted with the. You had a black man that voted with the rope. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it's just interesting how Corey, how you just shifted the whole conversation to focus on the black man.
Yeah.
Like Ankh was going
but
hold on, but that's what you did though, because Ankh had just read the in-depth parts
in the black community. Women are equal in the black community.
Yeah, but we weren't talking about. We were simply just focusing on the basics of what feminism is and what it stands for. And then
but that's not for black women.
Yes, but we weren't talking about black men. We were talking about women.
I'm saying it's not for black women. The feminist movement is not for black women.
Corey, stop. Everything that Ankh just read applies to all women, regardless of our race.
When the black community fight, we fight for all. I
don't understand. It's like there's a block. It's a whole block.
It is a block. It's a block.
One thing we know is we can't hear the woman talk though.
Right. We weren't talking about that. We was simply talking about what feminism is and what it exactly addresses for all women. And then you took the conversation into focusing on what black men are not doing. Like we weren't even
all women. That triggers me. I'm sorry. The term
we weren't talking about men. We weren't talking about black men at that point. We were just talking about.
I'm saying just women. Like the term all women, it ain't got nothing to do with men. My thing is, I'm only concerned with black women.
Yeah, but black women need the right to vote. Black women need to be able to go into black women needed to be able to go into a bank and get a loan and open a bank account without her husband.
Only thing
black women need to be able to buy houses. But that's what we were talking about, and you've already taken it to the whole black
you thing. Said women's rights
because that's what it's about, Corey.
No.
Hold on, you do have something called black feminism too.
This is what you're not clear about, Miss Tiffany. I'm not concerned with women's rights.
Yeah, but the conversation about feminism,
with black women's rights.
Corey, stop.
So hold on. So what do you think about black feminism, Corey? Black feminism.
I just want to get this thought out without
Go ahead, though.
Cut off. I think
my bad. My bad. I just wanted to be clear on that, though.
We got it, Corey. But we're literally just simply talking about the fundamental idea of what feminism is. Nobody is even talking about white women, right? So I don't even understand why you want to hyper focus on white women when nobody's even brought up white women. We're just talking about the rights of women, and black women are women. So that's it. So when you like deflect it and take it down we don't care about Karen because she's worse than her husband, or
I'm saying
the black man ain't doing this, that, and the third. You take the focus off us.
throughout history. Let me tell you what happened throughout history.
No, we want to hear.
Okay, y'all don't want to hear. Go ahead.
I'm done.
Let Juju represent your position, because right now, yo, you saying wow, and you wild out like
no. I ain't even got to even say anything really. I'm trying to tell you.
You actually did. You did a great job to let us know how mighty black men was in the middle of talking about women's rights.
I never said anything about black men being mighty.
You did.
I said I'm not concerned about women's rights.
That's crazy.
I talked about the black family.
Concerned about black women.
We actually live in a country with,
family.
Even this country by ourselves, though, Corey, they don't even make sense. You can't be in America and be like, I don't care about women's rights. So would you want only black women to have rights and white women not to?
Because let me tell you what happened historically. let me tell you, because that's the whole point, Julanda. We're talking about black women.
Your point.
I want to talk to you. Juju, can I talk to you, Juju?
Go ahead.
Juju, can I talk to you, Juju? You know I'm a sensible guy. And I would prove y'all wrong with one statement. Last time I checked, when they made abortion illegal, they didn't say, hey, black women, you can get it, but the white women can't. By default, you're privy to the fucking laws. So anything that will help white people in today's society,
I beg to differ historically.
Right?
Go ahead.
Black women can benefit off of that. That's not even crazy as hell right there. That's simple. And anything that needs to be tweaked is up to you, Juju. It's actually up to you, Ms. Tiffany. All the women support the channel. Let me finish. I just want to make this point. Hold on. Let me make this point, Corey. Let me make the point, Corey, because you about on a cosmic rant.
Okay. All right. I see.
I know you already had that moment. You right there. Before you have your moment of unconscious saying the same thing a million times, let me just
ain't alone for a minute, Juju, till you need till you by yourself, Juju. Remember that. You ain't by yourself till you by yourself. But go ahead. Keep on. Go ahead.
Juju.
Yes.
Have we forgotten the history of the country? There's a pecking order. It's called white men, white women, black men.
That ain't not a black household, though.
I'm finishing my point, though.
Go ahead.
Me and Chef had an excellent answer on the damn household. The point is, that's exactly how it goes. Based off of religion. More black people are Christian than anything. And if you pay attention to the Christianity, last time I checked, your ass is to help me. What I'm trying to say is that white women, although they might not have structured the movement for black women, not saying they did. But what I am saying is you grab that and move it forward with the issues that are specific to black women. But
why
like I always hear a great man say, concrete boy say, we're all homo sapiens sapiens. So the issue is not whether the feminist movement was designed for black women. The issue is, are black women affected by the things that these white women was talking? That's the issue.
Why don't they just start by themselves? If they gonna end up by themselves, why don't they just start out by themselves?
What? Man, go ahead, Juju.
Ridiculous. That's ridiculous, Corey.
Go ahead,
let me tell you what Unc just said. That's ridiculous. They didn't make the feminist movement for black women. But why don't you take the elements of their movement and make it your own? And what I'm saying is, if you're going to end up by your fucking self, why don't you start out by yourself?
That's not how it is today, though, Corey. That's not how the civil rights movement was.
Go ahead, Juju.
It was plenty of white people. So now we're going to sit and act like it was just black people that got that through.
I'm too
It was white governmental structure that passed the laws for the civil rights. Last time I checked, the Supreme Court was all white people. So it was actually white people that those great lawyers, those black lawyers, bro, actually fought. But it was white people on the Supreme Court to say, yo, that's a pretty good goddamn argument, Corey. So no, I'm not accepting that. But go ahead, Juju.
Okay, so I would say this, Unc. I totally get your point, but I also feel like at the bottom of the barrel, so anything that the feminist movement benefited for the women, we got the residual effect and not the full effect. And at a point, that is a problem. And that's why I posted the definition of womanism because again, it is taking those feministic ideas by definition, which is theory, but not always placed in practice and accurately enough for us. And I feel that Black womanism is something that can be in theory and in practice a little bit more practical to address our needs. And I just have problems historically with how the feminist movement or perpetrators of the feminist movement have moved about. Like when it was a women's issue or white women's issue, Black women can jump on and help support the movement and get things passed. But when things that weren't so much a white woman's issue and were a Black woman or Black people's issue, there was no white feminists supporting that route. Those are the things I have a complication with. So that's why I don't always aspire to the feminist theory, because the practice does not equate all the time and 100%. Again, Black women, we benefit from the residual of that.
Yeah, Corey don't agree with you on that though. He's lying right now because he say we're all Homo sapiens sapiens. You see how much use it against his ass now. You see what I'm saying? Think about what he always say. He always says that. And other arguments, the whole thing, really, we're all just humans. Now all of a sudden, there's a Black thing, Corey. Now you playing the Black thing now. I ain't listening to you.
That ain't my thing. I don't be talking about.
That's your thing. Everybody listen to this show know when we fighting for Black people, we are all Homo sapiens sapiens. There's no you say it all the time.
The Blackologists talk about they can float with their melanin and all of that. That shit's crazy to me. Yeah, that's nuts.
Well,
the
extension, I just wanted to support Juju's point, is the womanist movement, so the Black womanist movement, which is an extension of feminism. So those tenets are there, but then there's the specific things that speak specifically to Black women that are there. Women. But it's not devoid. But it's not devoid of those basic rights and playing field.
Absolutely, Ms. Tiffany. So here's the thing. I do not have a problem with the definition of feminism. Like, I agree. That's beautiful. In reality, in practice, is where it's problematic.
No, it's not. That's your job. That's your job. You know?
Understand.
So why not do it? She just said, right? Why not be on board with what she just said, right? Because you're going to tell her in the end, it's on her. In the end, it's on you, Juju. That's what you're finna tell her.
So while it's on me, then I will aspire to a womanistic point of view and not so much of feminism, whether it is an evolvement, an evolution of that notion, that's fine. I can accept that, but it's a better inclusionary and a better way to put theory in practice. Huh? What you say, Bobby?
I'm joking. I say, why can't you have a black charter, yo? I'm joking, yo.
Whatever.
It's the same shit. It all boils down to the same shit, though. That's my whole point. No matter what you name it.
It don't. You minimizing the Black woman.
All right. So, Juju.
You're minimizing the Black woman's position.
Okay, we're going to ask Juju, a Black woman. Juju. As a Black woman. Hold on. We're going to act, two men arguing over this. I want to defer to the experts of being women now, Corey. Me and you are out of it. You can ask questions. Let's do this from now on.
As a Black man, I'm offended because I have a Black sister,
you should
Black daughters,
listen.
And I got a wife.
Listen what I'm saying.
That statement,
Corey,
what you just made was
Corey,
very,
listen to what I'm saying. Listen to me. Let's ask questions and hear what they have to say. Don't be offended. Just ask questions. We don't want to suppose anything. So I'm saying, Juju, as a Black woman, do you feel that you have been equally treated by Black men in North America your whole life? Is it that harmony piece? We just want to know, right? And I'm going to accept your answer. Do you feel like we get a little slick? You know what I'm saying? A little bit? Or do you feel any self-entitlement? Or do you feel like, it's all there? We want to hear the truth coming. What you think? That you have been equally treated by Black men in North America. You gotta mute that out. Is it that harmony?
Danielle just popped on. She got a mute.
That was a terrible question. A leading.
I'm not even talking to you now. Wow.
I'm glad it's Juju because she can handle it. But go ahead.
You not leading the witness?
I don't really know how to answer that. All I can
let me
say,
make it simple. As a black woman, how do you feel you have been treated by black men? That's simple.
Culturally, in this male patriarchal dominated society, if it wasn't so much BS, we wouldn't even need feminism. And we know that that hasn't always been the hard spot for lots of African cultures, as far as that kind of male dominance. So that's why sometimes the feminist thing is problematic, because it separates, where again, womanism is a very inclusive theory, involves the man, woman, and child, and is a more conducive and balanced ideal. That's why I contend to that. I think feminism is an answer to a Europeanized, patriarchal, problematic society. Okay, that we just so happen to be culturally indoctrinated in due to slavery.
I appreciate you. Hold on, Tim. Hold on, stop. Everybody stop.
Is it Juju?
Juju, I appreciate you not answering the question and blaming white people for the shortcomings. Thank you for that help. Thank you for blaming white people for the way I treat you.
I'm not blaming anything.
You never answered the question.
Appreciate you.
I said I don't know how to answer that. Like,
are you a woman though? You've never had any issues with brothers?
Of course.
But that's what he asked. He asked specifically that.
Tiffany, for me, my worst problems have been with white men, not black men, in my personal reality. Okay. So I'm sorry.
I ain't even know you was dating white men.
No, it ain't about dating.
I didn't know you was dating a white man.
Listen, let's clarify. See, I'm jumping. You didn't say men I was dating. You said men in general. This could be my uncle, a teacher, a friend, anybody. You said men, black men.
All right, so what about
I'm thinking all black men. What I'm saying, listen, that ain't none of y'all business. But anyway, what I'm saying is I've had more problems with white men than black men, and that's just it.
I trust your answer.
All right, cool.
Trust your answer. Ain't not our business.
All right.
Yeah, it don't have to be dating. It's just the men, period. Right?
Corey was asking the lady.
Corey. Me, I'm in the front seat with you, Corey. It's just the men, period. Have more issues with white men than black men. That's it. Or men.
I trust you, Juju. I respect your answer, Juju. You say you had more problems on white people than black people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
At work, I've had a white man threaten me, use the N-word.
Listen,
this was problematic.
What are you talking about, man? We accept that answer. Yo, Juju is Juju.
No, for you to sit here with your tone, because I hear the tone in your voice, right? Like Juju is saying something crazy. Like you can't believe what she said. That's the tone you got. Oh my God, I can't believe what she said. You clutching your pearls right now. You really clutching your pearls right now.
We accept Juju's response.
Of course, he's
definitely an anomaly. He's definitely an anomaly. So hey,
y'all are funny. I can't. Oh God.
She's the exception to the rule. So you know.
No. Let me say something though. Like I am definitely. Listen, I love black men. It ain't nothing like it in the world. So I don't know.
I think most of us do. I think most of us do, but I'm not going to sugarcoat the problems that are, and I'm not saying you are.
And Miss Tiffany, you're absolutely right. There are issues and there are problems, but also I like to think, and I would do better knowing, but I like to think that a lot of these problems are also very much newer issues because of the cultural and social media and impact of social ideas. You know, because me and my aunt is 80. She just turned 80 on the 23rd, okay? And she's been listening to our conversation all day. And Bobby, she listens to our conversation all the time. The only thing she hates, she's a Christian woman, she hates all the cussing, but she loves the dialogue. She loves the intellect. And a lot of times she doesn't necessarily agree. My aunt don't really agree with the feminism idea or movement. And when Corey, when we were talking about how, you know, the black men and women in the household, you know, equal, Corey, my aunt was agreeing with you, and her husband was 17 years older than her. So that's got to tell y'all something right there.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying?
Agreeing with Corey.
Yeah,
I'm just saying when he was talking about
y'all scared to take y'all equal. They got y'all scared to take y'all equal. Right.
Yeah, basically.
No.
Can we answer the
What
question?
I'm saying,
can
what
we
I'm
answer the
saying
question?
She's from
is
the
that
old school. She definitely agreed
old
with me. Go ahead.
what I'm saying is that my aunt never in any way felt as if her husband was like, this overbearing dominant figure and she had to be totally submissive to him. My aunt was never that. You understand? Like they were equal partnership. That he was an engineer for the train line. Black people in a very sundown time.
Did she work?
My aunt was a math teacher for 40 years.
Yeah,
my
grandfather couldn't read and write.
Okay,
my grandmother was the one that could read.
I'm telling you.
There's two other sisters on the panel. We need to respond to the question. I'm just saying.
Tiffany.
Don't get us lost in the.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Wait. Hold on, Tiff. Watch this. I agree with you. Hey, Corey, I agree with you. Yes, Black women had worked just as hard as Black men worked, and we all worked together in our household. But when your ass get home, then the kids got to take care. That's what the Black woman be mad about. I work as hard as you, but now I got to do a lot of the work with the kids and the homework, and that's it.
The Black man always been participating in that.
Yeah, we participate.
You know who can back me up on that? The CDC backs me up on that.
Boy.
Now, the Black man been right there.
Yeah, we do participate more than others, but dog, that's the issue. That's where Black women get a little salty. They bringing in more bread or just as much, and still got to do the majority of the household duties. That's when it becomes a little sticky, bro. I promise you. I bet you. I guarantee they be like,
somehow.
I'm shutting up. Go
ahead.
I agree. Go ahead, Tiff. Take over. I'm shutting up. That's
a good point.
So the question was, have we experienced problems with Black men in our community? Is that what the question was, Unc? I just want to make sure.
I'm sure we have.
Corey, you don't answer for me.
I'm sure we have.
I love it.
We're saying is the harmony. Is it the harmony that we're speaking about between Black men and Black women?
Nah, no, it's not. And I think that it's disingenuous to just dismiss. I mean, we can see it. We can just look at our community and see like the lopsidedness of it. And although it's not all of us, right? There's different classes within our own community. So it's not just the Pookie and Ray Rays that's acting up. It's folks that are educated. There's folks that got money. There's folks that, have some sense that are also causing problems. So there are men in different social economic classes, right? Not just the Pookie and the Ray Rays that, have a certain oppressive hold, they show up oppressively in our lives, in our relationships. And a lot of the times it's more like psychological. It's not necessarily physical. I had to stress that earlier in some of the conversations. Pain or abuse doesn't happen just physically. Some of these things are psychologically. And when we think about what the feminist movement and the womanist movements are standing for us to have some equal rights and footing in life, if you're coming home and a man is like downplaying that, you don't need to do that, or what you need to get an education for. Now, y'all know there's men out there even today. We don't want to hear about your education. Men don't care about that. So what, you got a PhD? All of those things play on the psyche of a woman, right? It plays on her psyche. So it makes her feel like, it's like she's being gaslighted. Her whole existence is being gaslighted. So those are things that yes, our brothers do in our community. Those are just some examples. I don't want to go on too long. I want, so that's what I got to say about that. Yes, it absolutely does happen.
Go ahead, Danielle. Am I saying that right?
Oh, yeah, Danielle. Yeah, I was just going to say, like,
welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. And thank you, Tiffany, for sending me the link.
Yes, ma'am.
You've been on here the whole time and y'all been running over her the whole time. Y'all crazy.
You did that, Corey, with the great Black man.
Got on.
Yeah, I just got on. It's all good. But like, if we just look at like history, because I just want to take white people out, because I think sometimes we say, oh, well, white feminism, da, 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 da. Just take that out the picture. Because if you look at the history of Black women, starting with Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Ain't I a Woman? Ain't I a Woman? That poem was talking about the discrimination that Black women face, both as being Black and women. And you see that theme throughout our entire history, where Black women in history have been saying, look, we got two boots on our neck. You know, it's the Blackness, and then you got the racism, and you got the patriarchy. And throughout history, Black history, I ain't talking about white people, but throughout Black history, as Black women have said that, the response from Black men, even in the civil rights movement, has been, hold up, we hear you, but we got to get our rights first. And when we get our rights, y'all automatically get liberated. And that has been the constant theme. And so you see a lot of Black women during the time writing about like, yeah, we need to actually lift all boats at the same time. Now, as to like, what are some of the issues, right? What does this look like in the community? And I do want to co-sign that when it does come to home roles, you do see some things are different from white families too. So I do want to lift that up. But what some of the examples that we see in the community is the issues facing Black women specifically tend to get overlooked. So when all the brothers were getting killed by the cops, there was a lot of cases where Black women were getting killed, but the Black community never lifted those cases up. And it was Black women that came up with the hashtag say her name and called out the Black community and said, y'all, stop doing that. Like we have to support these sisters in these cases. Black women came up with say her name. Another area where you see this is whenever you see these Black celebrities, sports guys, and if they get like a domestic violence or a sexual assault case against the Black women, who does the Black community stand with? The Black man that was accused, and the Black woman gets trashed. And this is something that is very, very big, because when you talk to Black women survivors of domestic abuse or sexual assault, they say, I'm afraid to speak up because my community won't have my back. And I'm in fear of looking like I'm taking a Black man down, right? And so, again, we're not even talking about white folks. Now, the system of racism does exacerbate that. But there are these instances. You can look in our faith communities, right? Where in a number of Black churches, Black women cannot be pastors, cannot have leadership roles. And it's taught man is the head. And then you see that in the Christian realm, you see it in the Muslim realm, you see it in the Hebrew Israelites, but then you even see it in the Black conscious community, right? And so and I can keep going and going for more examples. I just want to encourage folks, look at our history and look at what Black women have been saying throughout our history, not white women. I don't even check for white feminists. I only check for Black women who have, and what they have been fighting for, what they have been saying, what they have been writing. Just one other example, in the civil rights movement, remember Ida B. Wells. She led the movement to stop the lynching of Black men. And that was such a huge, huge movement. But at the same time, Black women were getting raped by white men, and at large numbers. We didn't have a movement to end that the same way that we had with lynching, right? And it gets to the theme that many Black women in history, Black feminists, Black women, whatever, the Black women working on women's issues have been saying, y'all, when stuff happens to Black women, we act like ain't nothing going on. We don't rally around Black women's issues the way we rally around Black men. So, yes, there is something there. And if we look at Black history and look at what Black women have been saying, we will see it. Don't stop getting distracted by the white women's feminist movement. We have our own movement. That's all I got to say.
So, okay, let me
I totally agree with that. I'm in the car with that.
I want to give y'all some dates. I want to support the system. Do y'all know what March 13, 2020, what date that was?
Say it again.
March 13th, 2020.
Nope, educating.
How about May 25th, 2020? Okay. One, y'all piled up in the streets, howling and screaming. Howling and screaming. And one, y'all ain't do shit. The one y'all ain't do shit was the black woman, Breonna Taylor, right? And George Floyd, y'all lost y'all mind. She just said that.
Right.
I'm gonna rest my case. Fucking interesting right there. That's just deep. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying, could it be? Sometimes the privileged ones don't even recognize privilege. Like you just you expect that. You expect us to pile out the streets. It wasn't for a black man died. We piled in the streets. We taught of that. Right? So black women get gunned down in our damn house. Ain't nobody do nothing.
Yeah.
Like we should have piled out the street for both of them. And I'm saying is, can I scientifically prove that's what it was? But it speaks to what Danielle was just talking about. Like we don't even see it. The privilege, because we got the privilege. Because remember, God is a man.
Bobby, that's so right. It's when you have the privilege, it's really hard to see the other group that has less privilege than you. And I think, I would encourage brothers to really just internally to do a gut check. Whenever you start, when you hear a sister say, y'all, this is how you hurting us, and then you're like, well, no, not that, automatically get defensive, say, pause, hold up a second. Am I missing something? Am I being defensive because in a sense I have more privilege? And I forgot another example too. Another example is Black femicide. In 2020, every 6 hours, a Black woman was killed, most often by a Black man. And this was most often through domestic violence cases. If every 6 hours a Black man were killed in his home, how do you think we would respond? Yet there is no response. There has been no response. And it's difficult to talk about, right? This is the conundrum, because if we talk about it, there's worry that white folks will say, look, the Black man is violent. So it's like, okay, we can't talk about when Black men hurt Black women because we're afraid it makes the entire Black community look bad. But sisters are suffering. And it's important for brothers to just pause, not get defensive, and listen to what sisters are saying and going through. And don't just focus on these YouTube streets. It's a lot of extremists on both sides on the YouTube streets, but go in your everyday community. Look at the sisters in your everyday community who are working to transform the Black community and ask them, hey, as a brother, how can I be your ally? And you're going to see someone that is more than likely going to be supportive of you being an ally, is going to be happy to hear you say that, but will also give you some truth about the blindness of the privilege.
Perfect. Well said, sis. Well said. Why everybody so quiet?
That was well said. It's not,
Yeah.
I mean,
Excellent points.
Yeah.
Those are good points, great points.
You don't disagree?
Y'all on fire tonight.
Yeah, that's good.
Tiffany French, stop making videos cussing.
A lot of that, I don't know. I was really kind of, because she talked about the, the specific needs of Black women. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's more what I was concerned about than anything. I just think the miscommunication, I think, or the part where I was triggered at, is where like I said, when Black women espouse and become a part of this women's movement, it don't sit right with me. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm wrong for that. That just don't sit right with me. I'm sorry. And I apologize to the women, but this women's thing, it seems to minimize, it seems to do just what y'all talking about. It seems to minimize the Black woman's issues. Because, and like I said, the Black woman has specific issues. And I want to say with the comments that the beautiful, intelligent young lady just made, I see some of the privilege that I have, right? And when she points out the George Floyd thing and how they had a whole thing about the lynching of the Black men, and all of that, the domestic violence, that's definitely my concern. I'm definitely concerned with, especially like in today's world, in the modern days where we have domestic violence, and you gave those stats, that's a real big issue, right? And I got daughters, so that's something that you brought to my attention. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying I think it just gets cloudy when we say women's rights. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I think that's, go ahead. Oh, I was just gonna say, no, I hear you on that, Corey. And the when we look at Black women's history, Black women have been checking that side for a long time. So, trust and believe. Sisters have been checking that, actually both sides. And that's the conundrum that Black women have been in, right? Because our issues get ignored on the Black side, our issues get ignored on the woman's side. So we have to check both sides to say, hey, you can't leave us out. Like,
right.
And to say, we're not riding for y'all on y'all issues unless you ride for us. We've had to say that on both sides. It's harder to say that on the Black side.
Right.
Because, but we also have to, if the white women are pushing for equal pay, hell yeah, I'm a ride with that. Because, like I'm so ticked off. I'd probably be a millionaire now, but Wells Fargo discriminated against me when I was in college, and they paid these two dudes who had less experience, less education, more money than me. And, and I just went to my boss and I said, hey, like, that's not cool. And, I'm studying political science at Berkeley, and that's not going to be really smart of you if y'all let this continue. So I threatened him with a lawsuit. I just should have sued him. But my point is, we still face discrimination as women. So we have to fight for those things, especially if we are, in a number of cases, not all, definitely not all, but in cases where Black women are the heads of household, they need to be getting paid their worth, right? So there's times when we have to fight both sides. When it comes to like the Roe v. Wade situation, this is Black women's contribution to that. White women have been fighting for abortion. Black women flipped it and was like, hey, we're fighting for the right to give birth. Right? Because genocide has been real. The system has tried to stop us from having birth. And we're fighting for the right for choice for the times when we don't want to have to give birth. We're fighting for that. And we're fighting for raising kids in healthy environments. So Black women added nuance to that conversation and contributed to that. So I hear what you're saying with like seeing white
women be on,
right? But like Black women have been checking them as we work with our community. But imagine this though. Imagine if our community could be on point when it comes to issues with Black women, that would help us in a major way politically, to where we wouldn't even have to deal with the other side too much.
Right, right.
So I was waiting to read this source right here. Y'all know my stance. I'm in the call with Corey on, is it religion that destroyed us? Male warrior homosexual cult, where the religion actually controls the sexual parts of a woman. I bring to you Civilization of Barbarism, an authentic anthropology by Sheikh Anti-Jokes. That's what he had to say about the whole issue. Let's see. Chapter 5, Clanic or Tribal Organization. He's talking about early Homo sapiens sapiens. Let's see how this pans out. Clanic organization, in that it is founded on the taboo of incest, marks the beginning of civilization. The human being is no longer simply a biological animal. His sexual relations are henceforth dependent on the very strict social regulations. I wonder who put in them very strict regulations. The clan is also, and above all, a social organization whose purpose is to meet economic needs and to challenge nature. It is founded on a deliberate choice of unilateral type of kingship, patrilineal or matrilineal, according to the economic context of private and collective type of ownership of mode of adherence, etc. Well, let's see who actually forms these policies and procedures. The nuclear family, man, woman, children, thus precedes the clan, which sought only to regulate its development to the greatest advantage of the group. Here we go. This is where the rubber meets the road. We in the Stone Age. The clan, whether patrilineal or matrilineal, has always been a male creation. I'm gonna repeat that because maybe we a little slow around here. Maybe we so caught up in our privilege, we don't recognize it. I'm gonna read this again, real slow. Diops. The clan, whether patrilineal or matrilineal, has always been a male creation to the exclusion of women. Y'all wasn't included in the vote. The same is true for later forms of political, social, human organization, tribal confederations, monarchies, and republics. The man was the one who, in the Nordic state in Europe steeples, chose the organization social cell of the basis of patrilineal. Then it talks about how the African male chose the matrilineal, but the hell with all that. You wasn't included in the vote based off of the great Sheikh Anti-Diop. So I don't want to hear this, oh, you reading the white man book. Nah, that's Diop's, right? And I talked about it's the physicality of the male that gave him this up. It's the vulnerability of the woman during stages of pregnancy and after that to give you up. Nowadays, women don't need your protection for that. She got a gun, you got food you can put in the refrigerator, you can be in a hospital so you can get on your damn feet after you had a baby. But the thing that just happened a couple months ago, where they, once again, in violation of women, right, sexual organs, when you tell them they can't have an abortion. It's the most craziest shit ever. Last time I checked, there is death in childbirth. Women are still dying. Black women are dying at higher rates in childbirth than white women. Hey, read up on it. Y'all do not have the right to make a choice on whether you have an abortion. Now, right here on this show, you got black men, how about, this my right? Nah, nigga, you ain't the person that can die should always have the last say. And I'm done. I rest my case. I put my source out. That's why I stand where I stand, because I'm a ferocious reader and I recognize the situation that religion came into play. Y'all know, right? Because God is a man, right? That's the privilege that we all have as men. I'm done.
Also, I guess we could speak to the gender the gender roles, because that came up in some of our back conversations, and how that's even a construct.
Girl.
Yeah.
Oh, the gender roles.
And then it was men who, white men.
Well,
I mean, I don't know what history it has in Africa. I mean, maybe y'all have that information. But yeah, them gender
I got
roles.
that screen share, don't it? What that say? Gender role, huh?
Uh-huh.
How that man get to that quick? How's it? Gender role. Also, sex role. It's a social role encompassing a range of behaviors and attitudes that are generally considered acceptable, appropriate, or desirable for a person based on that person's sex. Gender roles are usually centered on the conception of what masculinity and femininity, although there are exceptions and variations. Hey, what I say though, I talk about that. What? Look, hold on. Let me show y'all something. Christian taking one. Look. So how the religion pop? Look, religion, gender role. Look, it pops right up in it. Hold on. Let me see. Right here. Look. Here you go. This is a good one. Let's come in. Let's get off. Let's do this. Hindus.
The Britannica piece too. I just wanted to do that Britannica thing you posted.
Go ahead. I couldn't hear you.
The Britannica source that you posted.
For feminism?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the back chat. Go ahead.
So when I talk about religion, it's a reason. So if you let's just get to a spot that we don't know too much about. Let's deal with Hinduism for a minute. It says Hindu deities are more ambiguously gendered than the deities of other religions, right? It says this form of female and male relations and informs how the differences between males and females are understood. So this plays out in the deities. It said, however, in religious cosmology like Hinduism, which prominently features females and androgynous deities, androgynous deities, some gender transgressions is allowed. This group is known as high juggers and has a long tradition of performing important rituals such as the birth of sons and weddings. Despite the allowance for transgression, Hindu culture's traditions portray women in a contradictory ways. Yep, women's fertility is given great value, but female sexuality is depicted as what? Potentially dangerous and destructive. Yeah, that's why Mary, gotta be a virgin, yo.
That's the pattern.
That's a pattern. Look, it's all in the art. I tried to tell y'all, like I ain't just make it up. Y'all thought I wasn't gonna have a source for it, right? That's what y'all really think. Y'all really thought I was gonna have it. Y'all thought I had no source. Yeah, I just woke up this morning, decided to read the information. So yeah, these gender roles, they also have studies on these gender roles and how men kind of tweak the shit to fit their thing. Gender stereotypes, right? There are certain studies on the gender stereotypes. Let me see. Second, third question there. The third study. Let's deal with the third study. It uses a series of questionnaires such as attitude towards women scale, personality attributes. Let me see. Come right here. Within the third method, the results found that the mothers of children who passed the great labeling test, right, had more traditional family values. All right, y'all know what traditional family values are, those good Christian family values, right? It say these two studies conducted by Beverly and Fagat, Mardi Lindbach, and Sherry O'Boyle showed that gender stereotyping and labeling is acquired, meaning gotta come somewhere, right? Acquired at a very young age, and that social interaction as association play a large role in how genders are identified. So basically, socially, these genders are kind of constructed, right? Okay, Virginia Woolf, okay, in 1920 made a point. it is obvious that the values of women differ very often from the values which have been made by other sex. Yet it is the masculine values that prevail. Okay, what's the source for that? Yeah, Wharf, Virginia. It's a room of one's own, New York. Y'all can read that, right? It's remade 60 years later by a psychologist, Carl Gillian. You know, we like to deal with the up-to-date studies, who used it to show that psychological tests of maturity have generally been based on masculine perimeters. See, this is what we're talking about. See, Black women are affected by this too. Talking about the species Homo sapiens sapien. Watch this. And so tended to show that women were less mature. Gillian countered, it say this in her groundbreaking work in Different Voices, holding that maturity in women is shown in terms of different but equally important human values. So there you go. Y'all can add something to that. I just wanted to kind of, you know, shake the room up a little bit, since we was thinking that maybe, you know, we was delusional especially when I was talking about religion and the test and how men dominate. Yeah, that's the man. You know, y'all know the song. It's a man's world.
Right.
Right. Listen to the song.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, Juju, where you at, Juju? You're quiet. I don't like when Juju's quiet.
Why? I like to listen and learn.
Yeah, I know you do. It's the religion, Juju. That's why I fight, right, to get us out there, because it's, you know, it's not right.
And I agree, and I understand that. Not only the religion, but the religion also sets the standard for our cultural exercise and implementation of those things. So when we're saying all these things about this patriarchal society, like, where does it stem from? Where does it start? You know what I'm saying?
God, go to Africa. The gods is male.
Not all of them. A lot of them was female too.
Go find a female to create the whole world. I'm waiting. I'm right here for you. You know I did that.
Oh.
Go get that.
So you saying they're all male entities?
Yeah, no. Males and females, the man dominates.
I was under the impression of West African theologies that Oludumare or whatever was
go get it.
All-encompassing type entity. Wasn't male or female.
I know, let's read it.
And yeah, Oludumare doesn't have a gender. However, due to what you're talking about in terms of men and their privilege, some men will automatically think Oludumare is male.
Right.
Oludumare is neither male nor female.
Right.
That is the case with a number of the deities. And
correct.
Talking to folks who practice Islam, the same thing is said. However, because this is a man's world, men will constantly use the pronouns of he for the Most High. So, but on its face, no, Olodumare is genderless.
What was that you was telling me about earlier, Danielle, about the Ifa story? About the creation story?
Oh, yeah. It's the creation story. So yeah, no, I was just talking to Tiffany about, just being frustrated with the sexism in Christianity and going to African religions. And then when I learned the Ifa creation story, I was like, what, it's over here too? But so the story is that it was, I believe, either 17 or 18 Orisa that participated in the creation of the world, that Olodumare had to create the world. And one was Oshun. Oshun was the only female Orisa that had participated, and the men left Oshun out of the process. And they said, oh, Oshun, she just needs to cook the meals for the sacrifices. That's it. And so as they went about creating the world, the world was created, but it crumbled and failed. And they all went back to Olodumare and they said, wait, what? Like, what happened? Why is our world not, why is this not working out? And Olodumare was like, well, y'all left Oshun out. Y'all left the mother of the water out. Water, what you think will support this world? That's why the world died. So go back, apologize to Oshun, and involve her in the process if you want to see this world thrive.
There was no balance.
And you know, that balance. And I thought to myself, I'm like, well, you know, this is the thing. The fact that this is part of a creation narrative shows us that sexism is not new, right? It's the fact that the creation narrative, but in this creation narrative, it's also critiquing the exclusion of you know.
Yeah, that's what I got out of that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But you know, what I do appreciate, I know for me, when I started to see God as female, that also flipped the script for me, because let's be honest, it is a man world, and that's what we are socialized into. So sometimes for us, we don't see the oppression that women experience because we have been socialized not to see it, and it's even heavier within our communities. But over the years, when I went through the process of not seeing God as a man, I was able to see the strength of women even more. And I mean, that is a really big thing when you see God as man. You know, you hear folks praying and every other word, but Father God, Father God, Father God.
Right.
I mean, it really does.
It's indoctrinated in our psyche.
It does do something to your psyche.
That's even uncomfortable for me. And like, for me, that's uncomfortable to me. Like that, to say stuff like that, it's kind of crazy to me. But go ahead, John.
Told you was right, Corey. Hey, Corey, you was right. You just ain't know how right you was. And I got to thinking, I woke up this morning thinking about what the fuck is Corey talking about when he say religion? And I was thinking, I was like, damn.
Tiffany, funny.
Damn, Corey, you right, yo.
I hear a lot of undertones in that, but I'm feel you.
And Corey been going at it, boy.
Hey, Corey, I was trying to support your point on the religion.
I still got beef with you, Tiffany.
Be nice, Corey.
But I'm saying the conversation allowed me to connect those dots, though. That the God is a man thing is the thing. Yeah, that's the thing, and that's how we're socialized. Yeah, right. And the sister Danielle said, she said, socialized in the men thing. You know what I'm saying? That's true, right? Like and by default, you're a black man and a black woman. You know what I'm saying? So that's right there, and it's all in the game. Like if you think you're not African American, you've been away from Africa for 250 years. That's a long time. Like you ain't getting that back. You're not that. You're a whole other entity. You know, when tribes and clans move on, and we have moved on by way of forced migration, right? We've started a whole new cultural pattern, whole new diversity, whole new planet. I mean, area, climate, animals, food source, new enemies. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta face the music to the shit. If you don't face the music to it, then how can you change? If men can't recognize that we've been socialized a certain way, we've been domesticated. By default, you can't get out of it. You know how many black men is proud to be a Christian, yo? When the whole system say, yo, your woman you got, she got to serve you, man. And how many black men have taken advantage of that? Hey, yo, I'm telling you, we trying to act like Christian households when you get serious with the religion, that ain't what you really thinking in your head. Right? You ain't even thinking God could possibly be a damn woman. When you say that, you're a pagan, and if the woman say it, the husband gonna be mad, because y'all know the family prays together, stays together. I just want to say that. Hey, Donnie.
Donnie, what's up, Donnie?
What's up, Donnie? You been talking that talk, yo. What's up?
What Donnie been saying, man? Y'all been talking about Donnie. What's up with Donnie, man? What he saying?
Donnie Williams.
You've been doing something, Donnie. What up, man? You sound far away, man. You gotta get your mic together, man.
Yeah, you gotta get your mic together, Donnie.
Yeah.
Like you hear me? We can't hear you like you went pseudo. The pseudo thing, we got a filter on this joint.
Can you hear me now?
And the pseudo button on automatic.
Yeah, it's
That's
automatic.
better, Donnie.
Yeah, we
It's
go
a
ahead.
little better.
Donnie. What's your question?
I didn't have no question. People are saying hit the link like I wasn't gonna hit the link or something.
But what was you talking about in the chat?
Yeah, what was you talking
There's
about?
some issues. What was going on in there?
Like,
I missed it.
Well, go ahead, Jolanda.
What you mean? Go ahead. You got the floor. You was saying some stuff
making
in the
smart
chat.
remarks about Brother Ankh. We seen it.
Yeah,
What?
and you said
What
that did you
has-
not call Danielle pseudo? So I just wanted you to come on the panel and express your views to help us understand. That is all. And yeah, I wanted you to ragdoll me.
Yeah, you can't
They
be
said you was gonna
chatty patty.
ragdoll me.
They're gonna
So
get you for
let
being chatty
go.
patty, Donnie.
Let go. Let go. Here I am, motherfucker. I'm right here. What's up? I'm just being petty.
Yeah.
But talk to us.
I believe in headship. I believe
In
in
what?
headship, and the man. I believe in headship, and the man is the leader. See, you know
You
what I'm
believe
saying?
in
I'll
what?
say that.
You believe in what?
Headship.
Headship.
Why you muffled?
You know what headship is? That's the leader.
Okay.
Head chef.
Yeah, headship.
Am I hearing this right? Am I the only?
Head chef. Go ahead. Head chef. Go ahead, like a chef. Go ahead.
Headship, like you're the leader.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh,
So she's
Spell it, because I'm confused and ADD.
Come on, man. She's constantly looking at you. You know what I'm saying? For you to take the lead and things of that nature and have that leadership role. So all this extra shit, you know what I'm saying? That's just fucking.
You say the woman is looking at you to take the role. That's what you said.
Yes.
Yeah, yo, you archaic, yo. You're in the Stone Age, yo. At this point, and
I don't know
listen,
about.
I got it. I got him. I understand what he's saying.
Am I the only
will let
one
you
not
know.
hearing? I'm not. I can't hear him that good.
Yeah, he's Corey. It's called headship. I've never heard of that term.
Oh, headship. Oh,
but it's a Bible term.
Right. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Hold on, Juju. Juju, let me make this point here. He's basically saying that y'all looking at us to take the damn lead.
I'm dead.
Yeah, that's what it is. But I would like to make this point, right? We're no longer in the Stone Age, right? And so we technology actually levels the playing field. So with a woman, and I'm not the one to say what a woman needs. Let me tell you what I think a woman may need in the space age. I think she needs a good partner that she can rely on mentally, socially, right? Economically, just period, right? That is aware of what the fuck she talking about. Like sometimes take time off just to hear what she got to say, right? Sometimes can you hug me sometime? I don't necessarily think she needs me financially. I don't think she needs me to fight for her because she can just shoot the shit out somebody or call the police. I think she just need a good friendship, right? Where she can have a conversation and talk with, just be y'all two having a good conversation. I'm thinking that's what I'm thinking that's the playing field. And if you thinking that she looking at us with some fucking crazy ass leadership, I'm thinking you're in the Stone Age at this point. Because maybe you're better at certain things and she is better at certain things. And to be forward thinking, it only makes sense. The person that's better at doing certain things should do that goddamn certain thing. It only makes sense. Why fight that based off of biblical narrative? So you're just not a good leader? Everybody not good leaders.
I agree with you, and all the things, what I'm saying encompasses all that. So we don't have an argument.
Suppose you're just not a good leader, yo. Being a man don't make you a good leader. I just hate, I gotta say it.
Absolutely.
Leaders are chosen. I would like to say that. And just because I got the money, I might not be able to pay the bills right. Go ahead.
Taking a little bit too far. Aren't you supposed to govern over your household? Yes or no?
Stone Age, yo.
Come on, man.
Nah, dog, that's Stone Age, yo.
Corey.
Donnie, can I ask you a question, Donnie?
No, I don't. I definitely don't write the legislation up in here. The legislation that's written, I might enforce some of it. I might be the enforcer of some of it. But the one who written the legislation in the house, I didn't write that. My wife wrote that legislation. So I just enforced the laws. That's all.
Donnie trying to get his everybody in trouble.
Wait. Say that again, Corey. The last part.
I enforce the laws. She writes the laws.
Oh, shit.
Well, you enforce it.
Donnie, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, let the women handle Donnie. I'm out of it. I mean, Donnie.
Donnie, are you a
Corey,
Christian?
I made you the host, yo.
Are you a Christian, Donnie?
It ain't gonna be long if you make me the host.
Right, it don't gotta be long. Yeah, we had that time. Go ahead, let them rock out.
All right.
Yep.
Yolanda.
Ooh, go ahead.
Donnie.
Go ahead.
Yolanda.
Yeah.
First off, you should apologize to me for cussing me out.
Absolutely not.
You did what, Juju? You
did what, Juju?
You cussed that man out.
Absolutely, I did not, and I will not apologize.
See, that's stubbornness, but it ain't gonna work with me. So we got to get past that. So I don't play like that.
Okay, are you a Christian? Can you answer the question?
Chatty Patty in the chat though, so you definitely be playing.
Donnie ain't playing with y'all black woman, yo.
I was born a Christian, but I abandoned it.
But what?
I was born a Christian like everybody else, but I abandoned it. Let it go.
I wasn't born
He brought them ideas with him, though. He took a lot with him, boy.
It's still in his psyche.
Yeah, keep working on it, yo. Tradition. You can leave a tradition, but the socialization could still be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's the next question?
Donnie.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm trying to be a better person in life. So if I offended you and disrespected you in any way, Donnie, I do sincerely apologize.
Now, I don't think I could ever get that out of Juju. So, Donnie, you doing better, way better than me, bro. I don't think I.
Excuse me?
I'm not trying to be arrogant about it or anything. But
what did you just say? Huh?
Yeah, I said I stand on it.
What you said?
What he said?
What did he just say?
Here the games go.
No, because I'm about to.
He said, what? Hold on, what?
Donnie didn't
with Donnie?
Please.
Donnie came on here, yo, and made me right, yo. See what I'm saying, Corey?
Tell me you didn't mess that up, Donnie. Come on.
Oh, he fucked it up.
Appreciate Donnie. I appreciate you.
You just wait till the next time, bro.
Donnie came on here and everything I said right.
Donnie, it's on ear to ear with the dull blade machete.
Corey,
Do you hear me?
Hey, Corey, we had reached the place of balance.
Hey,
Donnie tipped it. What's up?
Peace to the panel.
I think.
Go ahead, Donnie. How you doing, Cedric? Go ahead, Donnie.
I think Cedric better talk.
Yeah, that's why I jumped in.
Don't jump in. Don't jump in, Cedric. Go ahead, Donnie. Huh?
You know what I'm saying? I do got respect for you, believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? But you know where the contention is with me and you. You know that.
No, what is it? What is it? Let's rehash it. Maybe we could fix it. What's the contention?
I'm not gonna do that right now because you know what it is.
I don't. You keep making me know. I don't know.
Well, we'll revisit it later. But
why not now? Why not just get out the way? It's the Pseudo Killas show. We can fix it right now. If I wronged you, I'll apologize. What? Go ahead.
Well, that's all you got to do. Apologize.
Okay, what am I apologizing for, Donnie? Go ahead.
Remember,
Donnie, you're not gonna go around the panel getting apologies here, Donnie.
Come on, man. Y'all need to chill out, man.
Do this. You got two people that would never apologize to me to apologize to you back to back. So I'm not liking the way this is going, but go ahead.
All right, go ahead, Donnie. What? Go ahead.
The Magi thing, man.
Okay.
That was a letdown, man.
What you mean a Magi thing? What you mean?
You gonna do that again?
Yeah, we're gonna do it again. What? I'm in a different mental space.
I
What?
ain't got the time, man.
Huh?
I ain't got the time. You asked me to say it, I said it.
What Magi thing, yo? We was arguing over the Magi?
Come on, man.
Come on, yo, just work with me. Work with me. Come on.
The world looking at you, man. The world looking at you, man.
That's okay. What about the Magi thing?
You did something on Smash Show?
Huh?
Come on, huh?
Come on, yo. I got 1 million Donnies, yo. Stop it. What?
Come on, Donnie.
Just say it, Donnie. Yeah. Knock it off, yo. I don't remember, yo.
I'm talking about stop co-signing it.
Huh? Donnie.
That's that flim flam that make you feel like, nigga, you lying and shit when you really ain't. That's that bullshit. Come on, man.
Donnie, listen. Donnie, listen. Listen, hey, Donnie. Don't nobody get in this. Hey, Donnie, I just want you to know. I just want you to understand. There's one person you have to remember, and that's me. I got to remember all the people in the chat, all the people I ran across. This is a difference there, bro. So, Donnie, what conversation was it that I need to apologize? Let's just get it out as men.
Look, here's the contradiction. So I'm gonna debunk that right here on the spot. You've been saying my name on your live tonight. So what other Donnie is you talking about? The same Donnie that get in the chat and do this and that.
Donnie, what's your point? Where did I offend you at, Donnie? Because you damn near close to getting cussed out right now. You playing with me, nigga.
Well, that's okay. I can handle that.
Right, so I'm asking you peacefully. You frustrate me now. I don't remember. You keep doing this. I heard you do it before. I'm saying, get to the damn point so I can get it straight with you.
I'm not doing this. Hey,
all right.
Bye. See you later, Donnie.
Don't talk me to
before you get peed on.
Yeah, don't talk me to death. I'm done with that.
Before you get peed on. Bye now.
I think Donnie.
We're going back to the original conversation.
Bye, Donnie. Yes, yes. You can go back.
Do you like art?
I'll get peed on up here now. Up there talking about I would get peed on. See, this is disrespectfulness of y'all.
Because you a simp. And you
on your mind.
I take my apology back.
What's on your mind?
Wait till I see you again in the chat. I'm coming for you, Donnie. No mercy. Ear to ear. Don't lay machete on you, Donnie. I'm coming.
Donnie is a grown-ass man. Talk what's on your mind. Stop ifing and butting and biting up your lip.
Yeah, like it's a point.
Man.
Thank
Get
you.
to the point.
We got a whole show going on here.
Donnie is funny, yo. You know how long Donnie been doing this to me, yo? He won't get to the point.
All of a sudden you remember me now.
No,
I don't remember. You keep
doing the same thing without coming to a point.
Come to a point.
Nobody know what you're talking about, Donnie.
Y'all know what's horrible about this? Now I remember, this is what Donnie always do. He can't never get to the part where I did something wrong or maybe he won't do it. He think that me, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna remember it because whatever we went through, you know how many people I done cussed out, Donnie? Donnie, I gotta run it. Donnie, I got 20 years of cussing people out on Blog Talk.
No moral standard.
That's fine.
So y'all agree with that?
Agree with what? Did what?
See, this whole live was about, you know, what women should do and what men should do and stuff like this. But I'm saying to you, where are your standards at?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I
think this don't got nothing to do with you, bro.
No, you're wasting my time. That's something to do with me.
Yeah, he's derailing the show now.
You're derailing the show. Come out and say it, man. You're a grown ass man. Open your mouth. Address the nation. Address the nation. Open your mouth. And so what's in your
I
heart?
think Donnie done been in his cabinet. Donnie, you done been in that
Exactly.
cabinet.
I was saying that earlier.
You got in that
cabinet.
Donnie sound like
ENJ.
We're in that cabinet.
You get something. Me and ice.
10 people. It's hard to battle 10 people.
Yeah, but we get out of you. That's
how y'all coming at me, little old
No,
Donnie.
we not coming at you, Danny. Danny, I know what's wrong.
How you gonna be little old and you just
Hold on
said you
for a
the
minute.
leader?
Hold on.
You
I
the
figured
head
out what it
chef.
is. I kind of figured out what it is. I kind of figured out.
I stand on stuff and I stand for morals. So
I'm gonna get up. I gotta get down because I think you might.
You don't stand for anything, Donnie. Stop.
Hold on, let me give him a chance. Let me give Donnie a chance. Because Aunt do be flim flamming. I'm with you with that, Donnie. He be flim flamming like a motherfucker now.
Stop it. Concrete.
This me. This concrete. You gotta keep it.
Can we get back on track? Can we get back on the conversation?
Tell me the floor.
Can we get back on track? I want to put common sense into
and I'm gonna put it out there. Cause I'm gonna put it out there, Donnie. Give me a clue. Give me a good hint that I can.
Corey, stop it.
We want to get back on track because this is distracting.
Yeah.
We're gonna get on track. Come on.
I came on the point that I heard about religion. And I always was confused, and I'm gonna blame black women. You know why?
He said something right.
Black women.
I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna let everybody know that Donnie said one thing right, and that's be on that flammery. So I'm with you with that, Donnie. Don't think I ain't with you on that one.
Man, I made the word up.
Corey, I just want to cause some controversy.
Hey, let me say one more thing, and I'm gonna get out the way. You know what I'm saying? Well, two things.
Nah, Donnie, say the thing we want to hear the most.
You only get one.
Do not know what you're saying.
Just hurry up.
We want to hear the most. Donnie, you can actually make the show if you tell us what the hell is going on. That's what we really want to hear. We don't hear nothing else besides that. What the hell is it that I did?
If you just go tell, I'm gonna agree with you, Donnie. I'm gonna be on your side. Just tell us.
Go ahead, Donnie. Come on, man. Get it out so we can get back to this good conversation we have. Come on.
No, it's challenging for me dealing with all these personalities stuff like that. So.
No, get up, leader. Get up. Look, focus on me.
Donnie, how old are you?
I lost my point.
How old are you? 13?
You lost your point. Hold on, Stu Pease. You lost your point. What's your point with me? Where am I immoral at? Go ahead.
You lied about the Magi thing.
What Magi? You talking about the Magi and the Nubian?
That's what I'm not gonna do. There's only one Magi.
You saying the new? Hold on. You saying
did. I know what he talking about.
What he talking about? What he talking about, Corey?
He talking about when you was on Sinetta, huh?
They said what?
You said you was the Magi. You said your DNA was the Magi.
Okay, all right, Donnie. Okay, Donnie.
Bye, Donnie.
Shit, Donnie. Okay, I'm with you with that.
Okay, Donnie. Hey, Donnie.
You gotta apologize. You need to.
I apologize.
That's all you gotta do, Uncle. It's over.
Is that what? Hold on. Wait.
Why is that so motherfucking hard?
I'm with you, Donnie.
Hold on. Everybody step aside.
No, check this out.
Hold on. No. Hey, Donnie, is that what you? Donnie, is that what you're talking about? Hold on, Donnie.
I'm talking about headship.
Donnie, relax.
And you want your man to be what, lady?
Donnie.
Honest.
Hey, Donnie, relax.
Donnie, right?
Donnie.
This nigga
You're about to get cussed out, Donnie. Donnie, you about to lose your point, nigga. Donnie, you about to lose your point. What you say, Donnie? What'd you say, Donnie?
Donnie, I just got you in a good place. You gonna ruin that.
Hold on, what'd you say? Hold on. Hey, what'd you say, Donnie? Donnie, what'd you say?
Come on, man.
What'd you say? What'd you say, nigga?
He likes to do this with me.
Nah, hold on. Let me get your bitch ass off here. That's why I like to get bitch ass niggas off.
I ain't no bitch.
That's why I like.
Ain't no bitch.
That's why I like nigga.
Now,
That's what I like to do. Let me get them damn control. I'm gonna get your wild ass off here, nigga.
Oh, you want Donnie out of here?
You misspeaking, nigga, and you're a little bit too slick for me at this point. You don't know what you're talking about, nigga. Now, so you got 2 seconds to clear that shit up, nigga. Now, yeah.
No,
nigga. That's bullshit, nigga. Nigga don't, matter of fact, nigga don't never come back, nigga, talking that magi shit, nigga. You misspoke on that, nigga. You took a clip and you reorganized the way you want to say it, nigga.
I just got Donnie to the right place. Then he go and overstep his boundaries.
Will never be in the right place.
He had to go overstep his boundaries. You gotta know when you win, Donnie. You gotta know
I was
when
about
you
to
won.
say, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, you know how you say. So look, I'm gonna give everybody. I'm gonna give y'all the gist of the conversation. This was about maybe 8 years ago. So it was after the criminal trial debate. If y'all go back and look at that, I pulled up some slides, right? And I got this DNA test that I paid about close to $700 for, and the shit will change. So back then, as they was collecting data, right, it had some of my markers in motherfucking Egypt. And so my point was, I said, if I wanted to say it, I could say I'm the Magi. That ain't the Magi, wasn't nothing but a bunch of fucking Nubians anyway. That's how the shit was put. This nigga took it on the strict line as if I'm saying I'm a motherfucking Egyptian or the Magi. He went strict with me on that shit. But the context of the conversation was on my DNA test. I said, I could say, based off my DNA test, you know what I'm saying, that I was the Magi. It was just it was a smooth point to say. This nigga held me to strict rules and regulations. It wasn't like I came out of nowhere with the shit. It's actually my DNA test. You know, we argued over me with the Utrian shit or the motherfucking, I don't even remember those markers. It was that type of thing, yo. Nigga, don't play with me. Go play Lotto, nigga. I ain't sitting up here lying to nobody, nigga. Now go get your motherfucking DNA test. Let me see some markers of yours somewhere. Got me fucked up, man. Fuck you, Donnie. How about that? And I mean that. Now, that's where I'm at with Donnie. Don't come back on here talking about that shit no more. Yeah, don't come back on here talking about that no more.
Yeah, don't come back on here no more, Donnie. Speed on before you get peed on, Donnie.
But you got the host back again.
I said it.
You the host again,
I'm gonna host my ass.
I'm throwing the towel in. I'm waving a white flag.
Can we get back to the subject?
Donnie, fuck me sure.
Peace. I appreciate the sisters for coming out tonight.
For the passing of Donnie. Could we have a minute of silence for the passing of Donnie?
And then
we'll go back to the show.
Cedric, hold on. Hey, Cedric, I'm gonna make you the host, Cedric. How much time you got left?
I got time, but I ain't staying on too late though.
And I appreciate the sisters, Danielle, Miss Tiffany, Julana. I appreciate all the sisters for coming through. Y'all shed a bunch of light on all the situations we talked about today. And y'all come back on, y'all come back on more regularly. Come on,
Corey,
man.
everyone else, Stupid don't rebut.
Thank you, Corey.
What'd you say, Stupid?
It's a long way to get here.
Don't worry, they're right there, Stupid. Mr.
Stupid is my main man. He's my main man, Stupid. Oh, you want to rebut? You want to rebut me, Stupid?
No. Some of the things the females that I do not agree with.
The ladies?
Yes. My apologies.
I'm gonna be listening. I'm gonna be listening still, but I'm getting off the panel. But I'll let y'all. Appreciate y'all.
I'm a tap out, but Stupid, I'm gonna just encourage you before pushing back. How about just marinate on what we said a little bit more and see if maybe some of that blindness might be playing a role. All right. Have a good night, y'all. Thanks for having me.
All right, Danielle. Thank you.
Great job. Appreciate you.
Great job.
Conversation.
Absolutely. Great points.
Yeah, we winding down. Go ahead, Stupid. What is it that they said that was wrong? You're looking into your blind spot at this point.
Okay, look into my blind spot. I believe in gender roles. Okay. Gender roles have always existed since day one. Uncle brought it up early as to the male role, even in formal religion and societies. Gender roles has always existed in every creature that exists. Whether they want to be hippopotamus, lions, tigers, monkeys, any group that operates in a social hierarchy, there is gender roles. Okay. In some species, female might be more dominant. When we're talking about killer whales, those pods are oftentimes led by the mother. But in the majority of species, the men generally take the roles of protector and in some cases providers. That's an important gender role. Now, in 2020, females, we might have matriculated past the need for a direct protector, but there are still certain gender roles that has to exist. Concrete quarries in construction. And construction is one of the better paying jobs in the United States. But yet still, the majority of people, the vast majority of people in constructions are male. Because this is a job that requires upper body strength. Although now we still have mixers and excavators, it still requires a large amount of upper body strength. So there are certain roles that exist. And we have to take that into consideration. Right? The second thing I had a problem with is that when the female talk about oppression of female, in our society, and we're going to break down the society into two parts. In white society, there might be some oppression. But in our society, in the Black society, the oppression of female, when
you stubborn and stammering.
No. I try to be nice. I don't want to step on my toe. Leave me fuck alone. Oh, you realize I'm walking on eggshells. Leave me alone, Paul.
Yeah, you walking on eggshells, boy.
I'm walking on eggshells.
Right into the abyss.
Okay, you're done. You stubborn and stammering to the abyss, yo. We done.
No. In the Black society, I don't see Black men in general on a whole suppressing Black women.
Of course you don't.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Of course you don't.
I don't agree with you, Stoopies. I in the Caribbean.
Cedric, get in. We're going to do a part 2 this tomorrow.
And
Go
I
ahead,
was screwed up. In our screwed up society, male dominated, over exaggerated machoism. I get to decide because I, the man, is rooted in religion. But this is what I find so strange. It is our mothers that has us deeply rooted in you must go to church Sunday. You must believe in this. I hear women saying the women are the weaker vessel because the Bible says so. The Bible teaches you that the first sinner on earth was a woman. Lot slept with his daughters, but it was the girl's fault. I hear men repeating nonsense like they come from our ribs, so they must obey. They quote the Bible that the female is our helpmate or helpmeet. We govern, we rule over the household, but it's our mothers who got us in church. This is the confusion. Why do the church full of women? And it is the one place that they are not respected, not honored, and not appreciated. God is a man where every woman gives birth, they create, they produce, but they look to a father creator, no woman in heaven. This confusion is at the root of all the confusion in our society. And yes, I must acknowledge an overly dominant male perspective. It's starting to diminish because of women becoming more equal in terms of income, in terms of status, in terms of not needing our protection. And because of all the years of abuse, women have raised their daughters. You don't need a man, you don't need this. So we get the full 180-degree opposite now. So the woman is not forced in a family, so she don't want no family. She don't want to hear nothing a man has to say. She doing her own thing. So we get the other extreme based on the same fundamental flaw in our society. This religion. We get that out of our system. We start to understand that equality is a statement of value and not of sameness. And then these gender issues start to disappear because at the end of the day, no man gonna ever give birth. So if we talk about gender roles, we got one fundamentally rooted in our existence.
And Cedric, I beg to disagree with you.
You stop right there. We do that for part 2. Miss Tiffany, would you like to say closing remarks?
Oh, I thought it was great. It was a great show. I was happy to be on with 2 other wonderful sisters, and I look forward to part 2. And that's all.
I thought it was a balanced discussion. Johnny, go ahead.
I'm not even gonna respond to Stu Peace tonight. I'll save that for later.
Yeah, hold that, Stu.
I hope to be invited to part 2 where I can respond to Cedric also.
Yeah, you're gonna get the mic first. And I appreciate the informed discussion we had. I think we reached the actual healthy balance with Miss Tiffany and Danielle, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I'm saying? And of course, Juju. Mm-hmm. And I think we reached a happy medium here. I think we kind of worked it out. The battle was fierce. People got cussed out in the back. Man, y'all got to join our discourse. That's where they get crazy. Tiffany French, I love you, sis. Shut up. Cussing and fussing and all that. I mean, I'm not, I ain't tripping because you cussing. Seriously, women cuss, men cuss. I ain't gonna hit that card with you. What I will say is, it's not even that heavy, yo. Like, it ain't that heavy. I just didn't want y'all fighting and using foul language. You know what I'm saying? And this might be one of them gender things. You know what I'm saying? You just, when women doing it, it just seemed like it's women gonna cuss each other out, and I guess that's okay for women to do it. I just don't think it's okay for men to cuss out women, right? And it shouldn't be okay for women to cuss out men. And that's the thing we got to work on first before we can get any of this stuff together. So yeah, Tiffany French, man, relax. It ain't that heavy. I know how you feel when you feel like your voice can't be heard. But at that moment in the server, I just wanted to calm everybody down so the points could be heard. With that, we're going to end. I appreciate everybody coming in. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure y'all go to the Abjuware store, man. Go get yourself something. Get yourself a Scientific Literacy t-shirt. The hoodies is coming out. They're going to be banging hard, man, with all the logos and all the hip-hop shit. You know how we do it around, man. Appreciate everybody for coming through, man. And with that, man, y'all know we out. Peace. I think I'm going to go over there on Sonetta and beat up on how you say it? Namana. How you say it?
Nepal. But
Nepal.
I can't do it. I appreciate
I'm gonna go
you
beat her up real quick.
I can't do it. She is pseudo.
I got the weaponry to do it. I think I'm gonna go get it real quick.